Hey, what is up, guys, and welcome to this episode of Mugscast.
Today, we're wrapping up the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man trilogy with Spider-Man 3. Cheers.
Cheers. We're honestly just going to get into this. We're not going to do that spoiler-free. We didn't do it for the other ones, really.
Yeah, no, not really.
All we said was you should just watch these. You should just watch these leading up to Spider-Man.
You know what? I'm gonna preface this by saying, if you're watching this, you watch the Spider-Man 2 video, and you like Spider-Man 2, then you're probably not watching this video because you probably unsubscribed and blocked the channel because of me. But I just want to say, like, in retrospect, I feel like I said this to you. I was like, at the time, I was just really fucking pissed. Now I'm like going through the stages of grief.
Yeah.
Like now I'm just kind of sad that it isn't as good as I remembered it was. Yeah. But at the time I was just like really mad. Now I'm like sad.
Yeah.
Soon will come acceptance.
Yeah. He'll accept it. But I actually want to do something real quick.
When I watch this, I feel like I don't know. Like I don't know. So, like,
I'm gonna say it right now. Listen, I'm just gonna say this right now.
I was too harsh. Like, listen,
Spider-Man 3 is the better of the three. Sorry, I'm saying that. I'm saying it. Spider-Man, to me, Spider-Man 3 is where they actually hit their stride.
Yeah, Spider-Man 4 would have been something.
Oh my god, dude!
Really
if they didn't fuck it up, Spider-Man 4 would have been amazing because Spider-Man 3 is where they hit their stride.
Because you would think if it hadn't been, because they canceled it probably because everybody hated this one.
Yeah.
But imagine if instead they said, "Oh, everybody hated this one because the studio interfered. Let's give Sam Raimi, let's let him do whatever he does," and then it would have been probably the best one.
Yeah, because here's the thing.
Because he finally hit like movie. You want to know why people?
You know how you said, "Oh, there's some people that are actually coming out and defending it," right?
Yeah.
You know why that is, right?
No.
You realize that the number one complaint with this movie is there's too many villains, right?
Yeah.
There's too much to focus on. Okay, so those people don't even go watch No Way Home. Like,
yeah.
Don't even go watch that shit because you're fucked.
Yeah, I was gonna say
not to spoil anything for you, but
no, I know. I know it's gonna be a lot of shit.
That's what I'm saying. So
I'm concerned about it because it's only
that's exactly what I told Rachel today. I'm like, if people hated Spider-Man 3 because there's too many villains, when in reality we just have 2 in this movie.
Well, we have 3.
3, but when in reality we have like 3 villains maximum.
It's the same. It's honestly the same in Amazing Spider-Man 2. It's 3, but it's not.
But it's not 3.
It's like 2.5. It's really like one. It's like 1 and 2 halves.
Yeah,
in Amazing Spider-Man 2, it's even less than this.
Yeah, it's even less than this. As I'm saying, Spider-Man 3, it gets too much bad shit.
But that's not a good thing necessarily because that means they don't get the attention they deserve.
Yeah, it doesn't matter because that's what I'm worried about with Spider-Man No Way Home. Because I'm worried there's not going to be enough screen time with certain villains, and I'm telling you right now,
it's going to be a lot.
At the end of the day, it's only no matter what happens,
it's not even like 2.5 hours. I remember looking it up.
No, it's like 2 hours.
You would think it would need to be like
50
a lot
minutes
longer.
Tops, yeah. But
anyways, I want to say though, I was really, as I was watching this, I was like, you know what? On the second thought, like, there's a lot to appreciate about, like, the world that he crafted in this. It's such a specific,
dude.
Not even 3. I'm talking about all 3 of them. Like,
yes.
In retrospect, for Spider-Man 1 and 2, and 2 especially, like, I was very pissed off by the whole like losing powers thing, and I just didn't really like the whole like Peter Parker side of it. The Spider-Man action was great, but I just feel like. It is a weird thing to say, but it's like a very comforting movie, like a universe. Like when you're there, you feel like, I don't know, there's something about it. It's so well crafted.
It is very well crafted. It has a history.
Even though it's not, it doesn't hold up well and it's very over the top.
Lore.
It's just it just has a feeling to it.
Yes.
And the way it's shot and the performances are, Tobey is, I want to say right off the bat, Tobey Maguire. I, for years, have been saying, like, yeah, the movies were, like, Spider-Man 2 is great, but Tobey was just shitty. I was completely wrong. He's really he's the best actor in all of these. I was, like, blown away. Like, rewatching it, he's
emotional-wise,
great.
He's good.
He was killing it. I was like, I don't know why. Like, as a kid, I don't know. It didn't
register
click.
Of course
with me.
Not.
I was just like, he's a 50-year-old man. Like, whatever.
But no, he's
really good.
Okay.
I feel bad because I went around shit talking for a long time.
No, we're getting into this right now because I really want to get into this movie.
I just want to say, to wrap it up.
I really want to get into this movie.
In retrospect, I was a little bit too harsh on 2 and 1. I still think 2 is the weakest. Which is fuck. I just
I know
said
it's
that.
my vote, right?
That
It's my
just
vote.
blew my mind.
I think I can't believe it. I don't know if you agree with me or not, but I actually think 3 is the strongest. I really do. In terms of character, I don't care what you say. In terms of character development, in terms of action, in terms of CGI,
it's really
cinematography, like everything.
Yeah, it's really hard to say because one has. They're very different movies, though.
I hate Harry in the first one, though, and I fucking love him in this movie.
I like Harry in the first one.
I love him in this movie.
Aside from his, And
you can't tell me James Franco did not take a leap from 2 to 3's acting, bro. His acting is
better. Yeah, it's definitely better.
Miles better, dude. What you mean? Like, I didn't cringe once watching his performance in 3. In 2, I cringed
there was a couple of times where I was like, he's not fully on it, but he was, because there was moments in 2 where it was like, oh my god, that was bad.
Yeah.
In this, it's more just like, but it's not like Jesus Christ.
No, it's miles better than 2 though.
Yeah, but I think he had a little bit more to work with.
Yeah,
in 2, it was just every time he runs into him, it was just, you killed my dad.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
You saved my life. This doesn't change anything.
Yeah,
he humiliated me by touching me.
God. You're not gonna like this, but I actually really, really like Mary Jane in this movie. I know you think differently. But that's because you're a little bitch.
I gotta get my notes.
That's because you're a little bitch. You know what I'm saying? But
oh my god.
Nah, if you dislike Mary Jane,
let me say this.
If you dislike Mary Jane, you're a toxic person, bro.
If it wasn't for 1 and 2, she's good. If you don't know what she did in 1 and 2, then yes, she's. If this was just the story, if it was just this, like they get together, if it was just like Spider-Man 1 and then this, I would be with you.
No, you gotta forget about 2. They weren't together in 2 until the end, so it doesn't matter what she technically did. Yeah, was she scummy? Absolutely. No. But they weren't together.
Look, we'll talk about it. I got a lot of notes about it.
What she did was complete garbage. But no, I
have a lot of notes about this. Let's start getting into it. So, So, I said, okay, first thing, I said it's annoying to have the title sequence retell the story.
But it's so
But
long.
this one's I like this one.
But it's so
2 is the best one because it has the artwork.
Yeah.
They had a guy do paintings of the scenes. That's very cool. This one is long and it's like a very dated thing to have intro credit sequence like this. But it's I was like, it's cool. Cool graphics. I wasn't the first one is the fucking worst. I hate the first one. It was making me want to kill myself. But open the movie immediately, swinging off of nothing. I don't know why they do this.
I said it to Rachel too.
Why do they do that?
I literally was like, oh, something about this looks terrible. I even rewound it, and I was like,
I can't.
I was like, he's swinging off nothing.
For the life of me, understand why.
Yeah.
It's not a video game. You don't have to, worry about mechanics and how fun it would be for a player to make it. Just fucking have him. Why?
Yeah.
It blows my mind. I can't figure out a reason as to why they would do it. Bryce Dallas Howard is Gwen.
Yeah,
I knew Gwen was in this movie, but I never realized it was her.
Yeah,
so that was interesting. Dude, him in the play, fucking nice. Yes. I love that, and I wrote Toby's killing it. He's acting his acting is great here. He's in love, infatuated with her. He's
absolutely enamored.
He's singing along. He's like, "That's my girlfriend." He's so into it.
But that takes a dip later. That's all I'm gonna say.
And he's so into it.
I believe it or not, I actually hate Peter for a while in this movie.
Yeah,
Pre-symbiote.
I was so interested. I watched a video yesterday where people were saying the same thing you are, and I don't understand. It seems like people just don't want him.
You're a narcissist, bro.
It seems like people just don't want him to be happy.
No, that's narcissistic.
It's the first time, aside from the raindrops thing in 2, it's the first time he's been truly happy in these movies, and everybody's like, fuck that guy.
No, it's not that he's not happy. It's just, bro. We'll get into this.
Okay, so
there's narcissistical moments that's just nah.
The play ends.
Yes.
Okay. And he walks out and he runs into Harry.
Yeah.
And it's been who knows how long since the end of 2, and he hasn't gone to him. He's going to plays. He's just living his life. He's like, oh, that's right. I forgot about you. Oh, by the way, I didn't kill your dad.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
The first thing he did after the end of 2 is go and talk to him.
Not even just that. So Harry didn't ever try to kill him before this too. Until that moment that he kills him. I also thought about that. I was like,
because he found the shit at the end of 2, so why wasn't he using it?
I understand that he was making new stuff.
I think maybe he was making new stuff, and he was also juicing himself off the Green Goblin stuff.
But at the same time, it's
powering himself up.
Yeah.
But then they go, really casually, just smash cut, barely even do anything with it. He just walks out of the chamber. He's got Goblin
and literally nothing with it. You're right.
I was like, they didn't do enough with that. They should have had a scene of him being like, hesitant about it or something, or like, oh, should I do this, or I'm gonna do this,
or if
and
he
go
comes
in
out,
and do
have
it.
him show his rage, like
Yeah, do
something.
anything.
Yeah,
Just,
but he literally was just like,
I remember
in my underwear.
I
And that's it.
remember when I used to watch this movie, I'd seen it like a couple times before when I was younger. I didn't even grasp that he had done it. Like, I didn't.
Oh no,
even realize.
I did. I remember.
Well,
It's
I was
the
just
same
like
thing.
young when I watched it.
True.
So when I
true.
watched it, I was just like, how did he survive that fall?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, because they just show him walking out of a chamber with green gas. There's no like focus on it. So like, I was just like, what the hell was that scene? And then I didn't comprehend that he had goblined himself. You know what I mean? Because they don't really make a point to show that he did. He just kind of walks out. It's not really clear.
Another thing with that scene that bugs me is he was solo, right? Nobody else is in the room.
No.
He's not exactly a scientific genius here, so how did he create
He's not
that
something
chamber?
of a scientist himself.
Yeah. Exactly, but
You should have said that.
you're right. You're right.
It's fine,
you're
though.
right.
At least I caught
No,
it.
yeah, you caught it. Good.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is there was nobody there to help him make this stuff. He just made it on his own.
No, Bernard didn't help him.
Yeah, that's
also,
what I'm saying.
why do they call him Bernard? It's Bernard. I hate
whatever.
that. I've always hated that. But anyway, I don't know. I guess it's a different thing.
I guess.
Yeah, you would assume that in the first movie, what the fuck is his name? Norman did it with the guy, and then after he became the Green Goblin, he created a new chamber that was like self-sustaining, so he could keep if he needed to juice himself again.
Yeah.
So
maybe.
then Harry could just walk in and like push a button, and it's
I would hope so.
That's
I
what
don't
I'm
know.
guessing because
Yeah.
it's in his house,
Yeah.
which is not where the last one was. He clearly went and built a new chamber. Norman did after the original thing. So, and I wrote. We get this first scene of them on the web, and they're like looking up the stars, and I was like, I'm loving this.
Yeah.
I'm loving them together. Like they have,
it's great.
Good chemistry.
It's great.
Good stuff. I'm loving this symbiote. How do you
Out
feel
of
about
nowhere.
this?
Out of nowhere.
How do you feel about that?
Believe it or not, I like it and I hate it. Okay, so let me explain both. I like it because it's like, oh shit, this is the main focus of the movie. But at the same time, then you think, well, this was kind of all over the promotional, so it should have been made a bigger deal than it was. This is where you can tell, though. This is where you can tell where Sony kind of dipped in and was like, we need you to put this in the movie.
Yeah, I was going to say, because Sam Raimi did not want to put Venom
he didn't want to put it.
He didn't like Venom. He wasn't interested in the character. And so he just didn't want to spend time doing the origins. So he was just like, just fucking throw it in there, I guess.
That's exactly what it is.
Which sucks, though, because they had the perfect way to do it. They have John Jameson. Why not just open the movie with him crashing the same way Venom did? Just open it with him crashing. Just take like 5 minutes.
Should have. It's a missed opportunity.
I don't know.
And I think that's part of the reason people get mad with Venom as a character in this is because he wasn't like...
There's a lot of reasons to be mad at Venom as a character in this.
We'll talk about this in a little bit. I don't care for the actor, that's for sure, but we'll get into it.
So... What the fuck? So we cut to Sandman. Mm-hmm. Running in the orange jumpsuit, going into the thing. Mm-hmm. And... Why did I write this?
What did you write, please?
I wrote... And I quote, "You killed a man," and then right after, "Sandman," period. It sounds like I'm saying something like, "You killed a man? Sandman." Like, it sounds like I'm saying something, but I don't know what I mean. I think I was just trying to remind myself that it was Sandman.
Yeah, probably.
But I guess it's because, I think what I was trying to say is, like, the wife says, "You killed a man."
Yeah.
And I was going to make the point, like, oh, they're talking about him killing Ben. That maybe was what I was trying to say.
Again,
anyway.
Ben, all over these trilogies, dude.
Yeah.
Like, oh...
Yeah.
He's pivotal.
Maybe a little bit,
too much
in this one.
Yeah.
Like they didn't need to go back and do all this again. It was a mistake, but it's okay. I'm not mad at it. Anyway, so he goes and he's with Aunt May and talking. He's like, I love the way he opens the door. He's like, I'm gonna ask her to marry me, and he's like grinning. I'm like, this is great. I'm like so into this.
Yes.
And he's doing a great job, like acting. Like, he just seems so giddy and like excited.
Yes,
about
he
it.
does
like,
a very good job of showing excitement.
He's very naive about it. Like he's just so like caught up in the moment that he is missing everything.
Yes,
but
and that's where he goes wrong. That's where I start to dislike.
But it's not all his fault. So Aunt May,
partially.
So I love, and I'll say it again. I think I've for some reason connected the most with Aunt May in this movie, and I think
she's
it's
great.
I think it's this speech that she talks about Ben, and when she starts to kind of like falter towards the end, she's like, "We would have been married for 50 years or something like that," and I was like, she kind of like starts tearing up, and I was like, "Damn, I actually feel bad for her.
Yeah.
I never felt anything for her character before. I could have taken it or leave it if she had died in 1 or 2. I did not give a fuck about her. Yeah. She's not a fleshed out character, and I want to say the other thing that I did not mention in 1 or 2. Is I know it's comic accurate, at least to the original comics, is that she's very old, but it just feels like Grandma May. If I don't like, I prefer middle-aged May.
Like you said, it's very comic book accurate.
Yeah, it's very comic book accurate to, the older comics. Nowadays, I'm pretty sure, the movies. It's the same way with Iron Man, how they influence the comics.
Movie. Yes, yeah. No, you're right.
And I prefer that version. Like I think
Amazing Spider-Man, she's old. She's old. She just doesn't look old.
Well, she's not old. She's like 40, 50. This one, she looks like she's an 80 or 90. You know what I mean? It's to
be fair, the lady that plays her, if I remember correctly, is also like
Shy Fields.
Yeah. She's old as shit, but she doesn't look. I don't think that's her name, but she looks.
No, it is. It's Field or Fields. I just don't know.
Yeah, but she doesn't. She's really old. She doesn't look it. She looks very young for her age. Whatever.
Anyway, but no, I just think I prefer that because I don't know who the fuck. It just seems like more realistic. Like when you think aunt, you don't think 90. You think middle aged.
Yeah.
Like the same age as your brother or your sister.
Unless it's an older sibling.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be like unless his parents in this universe were like fucking 50 or 60 when they died.
Possibly.
But like I don't like that. I prefer the younger version. I'm looking at it and I feel like Grandma May.
Well, think about it. If he was with them from when they were young, right?
They never. It's funny how they just don't say anything about his parents. You assume it
because he said he's basically been with them for a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, if you think about it, maybe they were like in their 30s and they had him around their 30s, it would still been like
but
even 15 years
that's
later.
Fine. Like it's totally explainable. I just prefer. I don't prefer it that way.
Yeah,
I would rather it be. It just feels more natural to say Aunt May is like a middle-aged woman, and then she keeps getting younger.
Yeah, she really
it's
does.
Like okay, I'm fine with like the younger version of the new one. It's okay, but I prefer like right in the middle. I think is the sweet spot for her.
It makes sense
because like you said, she was older. Yeah. But she is an older woman, and she doesn't come off necessarily that way. But you kind of get the sense that she's like right in the middle.
Yeah,
so it's not too caricature like 90, and it's not super young and hot. Yeah. Even though Marissa Tomei is like 50 something.
I know she looks good though.
Yeah,
she looks real good.
So, okay, you didn't have to say it like that.
Nah, she looks good. Everybody knows.
She looks good.
Hey, Robert Downey Jr. knows what's up.
Yeah. Aunt May, I thought that was a nice little conversation.
Yes.
I felt bad
very
about
heartfelt.
It. First time I was like, it's I feel for her losing Ben. Like it, because she mentions in one or two something like I can't do this without him or whatever. But in this, just that for some reason it clicked with me how much it affected her.
Yeah, like she was still reeling. Like all this time later, she's still reeling from it. Yeah,
because it's hit her. It should hit her harder than it hit him. They were loved each other. Anyway. So he leaves. She gives him the ring and he leaves, and then we get this fucking great sequence, which I've always loved, even when I wasn't sure about this movie.
Sandman?
No.
What sequence are you talking about then?
The Goblin, new Goblin.
Yes, yeah, okay, yes.
I always loved this because it's just so well done.
Okay, there's a couple complaints that I do have. Okay.
And
this is just due to the time, unfortunately, right? So he's wearing like his suit. I actually like it. I didn't just people that complain about it.
It's just nothing.
It's generic, but it's cool looking. It's cool looking. It's especially for the time. Like when you were younger, you didn't think like, oh, that's kind of cool. He's like,
but that's the thing is because it's just like a snowboarding outfit.
Yeah.
He's literally just wearing like a mask and like.
But even now, it's kind of cool. It's like his own. He didn't exactly follow his dad. He made it like a younger, like hipper. It's a weird way to say it, but he made it like
it's a little bit.
Sleek. It's also very sleek.
It's a little bit too just it's just like nothing.
Yeah,
like it could just be anything.
But anyways,
that's my biggest problem.
That's not even my complaint. That's not even my complaint. Okay, so he's wearing like this suit.
I prefer to the Green Goblin suit. That's for sure.
But it almost looks like a sweater. Like it's definitely materially right, except for when he goes into CGI.
Yeah,
I fucking hate it because at that point he's a plastic toy. Like he's got like this sheen to him, and like he's just a super simplified version where he has no detail on him almost. And it's like you guys kind of fucked up with that. I think
it would have been nice to have they needed more
thinness
color of the snowboard like hoverboard look.
Yeah.
But maybe have it curved down still on either side.
Yeah,
in a way like a goblin glider. Make it a little bit more goblin-y so it's not just like he's on a hoverboard.
The problem is it's like I said, when it goes into the CGI,
because you still need the
suit.
You need the slimness of it
for
him to do the alley thing. But you could still make it look goblin-y without
You mean the world's longest alley?
Yeah, yeah. It's literally like a fucking video game.
Yeah,
like an on-rail sequence where the alley goes on until you beat the boss.
Until you beat the boss, yeah. But like I said, it's that suit. It would have been much cooler if it had a little bit more color to it because, like I said, when it goes into CGI, it's like everything blends together, and it's just like, ugh, I don't like it.
Yeah.
But yes, the sequence. Go ahead.
So it's just
there's another complaint, but we'll get to it.
Well shot and choreographed. The CGI holds up for the most part pretty good.
Somewhat,
except for there's a couple things like when he's on the wall and some new goblin stuff. But I love, and they do it a lot in this movie, maybe a little bit too much. But at first I was like, I love him using the web balls.
Yes.
Which they've no other. Sound, everything I think Holland has done it a couple of times,
but not that much.
But other than that, they don't really use that. It's more of like you see it a lot in the animated shows, but. I've always liked that. It's like his weapon.
Like the shoots, yeah.
Yeah, it's like
his
fucking,
web bullets, basically.
It's like a ball. It's like a cannonball type of thing. And throwing the ring into this sequence just levels up the tension a notch, and it's great.
And it was cool. It was cool up until they fuck up. This is where a lot of movies fuck up. This isn't even Spider-Man that's just guilty of it. It's like he dropped an absolutely like super minuscule item, okay? Yeah. Which is fine. I would have been perfectly fine with this falling, except so he drops it and then he gets pushed. And by the looks of the movie, the time he gets pushed by blocks, bro. I mean, you see like 4 or 5 buildings pass by, and these are like NYC buildings, so they're huge, right? And then like all of a sudden he's like right by the ring already, like.
Well, no, it's like the problem isn't that he finds it at the end, because especially based off the way they show his spider sense in the first movie, everything slows down for him, and like even like a little tiny fly.
Yeah, I get that, and that's
but
what
the problem is the timing.
Yeah, exactly.
The timing doesn't line up. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, he was like fucking flying. Like that ring should have, by gravity, it should have kept falling. Yeah. And they fought for a little bit longer.
There's a lot of just kind of like falling. And then you're like, oh, they're about to hit the ground, and then it cuts back to them, and they're still falling.
Yes,
there's a lot of that in this movie.
There really is.
So yeah, Jesus fucking Christ, he clotheslines the shit out of him.
Dude, yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? I mean, also, goblin or no goblin, he should be dead.
Yeah, well, here's a cool thing, like, and it's funny because actually Rachel mentioned it too. It's props to how he's not perfect yet. You can tell he's clearly still learning because he's making mistakes, even with his own little pumpkin like blade things.
Yeah. They come back at him.
Yeah, they come back at him. By the way, he's just like, why the fuck?
He throws like 5 of them, and then when the thing turns around, there's like 20 of them. I was like, what the hell? Yeah, why is he getting hit by 50 of them? I was thinking the same thing,
and he just starts getting clawed.
So he goes. So okay, so there's at this point we go to
Sandman. Yeah, we go to Sandman.
Yeah. So but
you got lost, bro.
First they cut to Captain Stacy, and the guy comes up and he's like. And I thought, I didn't realize this. It's so weird. I always thought like, oh, the Sandman killing his dad thing was like such a huge twist, and you find out at the end. They just outright say it right here. Yeah. They just say it.
Yep.
Hey, the guy that we tagged for killing Uncle Ben. They basically just say it, and you're like, oh.
Hey, we fucked up, but we didn't think of anything to tell you until, oops, he escaped, but we were going to tell you prior to this.
Yeah, and by the way, also he killed Uncle Ben. It's like, okay, I thought that was going to be like a huge like twist at the end of the movie or something.
No, the twist at the end
in the middle at least when they tell him. But no, they just
But the
say
twist at the end is something completely different, which is kind of okay, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it, but I kind of like it at the same time.
Yeah. So, he runs, he's getting chased, he falls into the thing, and it starts.
Yeah.
And then we go back to, real quick, Harry in the hospital.
Yes.
And the amnesia.
Okay. Fucking trash.
Yeah.
I don't care. I told Rachel the same thing. I was like, it's the most
I wrote right here,
I've ever seen in my life.
amnesia, ... and the emoji like, because I wasn't sure yet. I was like, is it going to be bad? I couldn't remember how they did it. And then later I wrote, it's
terrible. So here's I'm just gonna, because we're gonna gloss over some of these scenes anyways. I know we didn't take notes on these, some of these scenes, and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, that's not how amnesia works. The part where he goes to his house.
Yeah.
And they're talking. He's like, oh, I must be loaded. I was like, bitch, you have short-term memory.
Yeah.
You've been rich all your fucking life. You didn't just forget you're rich all of a sudden. Like, you knew you've been rich.
Well, no, apparently he doesn't even rember his dad, how he was like. He doesn't remember if he was rich. He doesn't remember if he has girlfriends. But he remembers that he wrote a high school play for Mary Jane.
That's what I'm saying. It's so inconsistent. He does remember his dad. He remembers he has a strained relationship with him. He just doesn't. He's like, my dad's dead, right? So
no, he doesn't remember a strained relationship because he goes, I wish I just remembered more about him. And then Peter's like, he loved you. He doesn't
you're
know.
right. You're right.
Yeah, he doesn't remember his dad
but
at all.
But they kind of insinuate that he forgets everything up to the point where his dad died because he's like, oh, my dad's dead, right? And he's like,
yeah.
But Peter says it with a smile, which is weirder too. He's like, yes, like, why are you smiling, dude?
No, but did he though?
Yes.
I thought that when they do the flashback, when he thinks that, I think they're intercutting it. They're doing like his memory is fucking it up to make it seem like Peter was back because he didn't smile. I don't remember him smiling in the original version.
And I think that's how Harry perceives it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking it was because I don't think he smiled when he said that.
Either. Yeah, you're right.
Originally. So the Sandman fucking origin scene, so good, dude.
Yeah. Dude,
phenomenal.
I don't think people understand for the time for it to be particles,
the sand particle physics. It was like a revolutionary thing. They created a whole new system for it.
That's a big
and it holds
deal.
up
and it's
really well.
Very nice. It's still, even if it didn't hold up, it's still revolutionary in terms of how good it is for its time. Like I love everything about this. Like he reaches out for the locket.
It's all like you can see all like the little granules on his hands.
You can see, and it's funny because even better, you can actually start to see him learning his powers. He's thinking like, I really need to grab this.
Yeah.
You see the sand solidify even harder, and he becomes. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's very well done. I fucking love it. I actually really like that scene.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. I think that's probably peak Sandman in this movie. But
also another thing that I want to say to you is, again, you don't give James Franco enough credit in this movie because you can see how much pain and anguish he's in until he now forgets about everything with his dad and Spider-Man and everything. And dude, now he's this happy, freak-o-lucky guy in a big way, like super believable.
That's the thing. And I said this in the first one. It's the parts that he can play. He can't act, angry and sad and miserable, but he can act the part of happy-go-lucky guy. That's why he's in a lot of comedies and stuff.
Yeah,
that's what happened in one.
He did a good job.
In one, he was great, and then as soon as his dad died, and two, he was terrible the whole time because he had to pretend that he hated him, and now he's back to this, and I like him again.
I disagree
because
the
scene with me. That's the whole thing you just said.
No, what I'm saying is you have to give him credit because he does a good job for both in this movie. Because the scene where he egged Peter on, and then Peter shows up behind him, and he's that scene is really good. Like, you can feel the hate on both sides in this scene. Like there is hate.
Well, I'm saying it's a little bit better here, but that's because he's not fully just. I hate this guy. He's also kind of like smarmy, like oh fuck you, thing. It's a different thing. I just think he can't play this fucking hatred and misery like that. Doesn't
maybe I don't know. I think he did a good job.
That's not something he can portray because we both agree he was terrible in Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, he was fucking.
And
terrible.
that's when he had to do all that.
I'm telling you, I wish I could look it up, and maybe if somebody watches this and tell me, I swear that's when he was going through substance abuse.
Maybe
kidding.
He's not a bad actor, but I just think that's not his range.
Maybe, I agree.
Because I've never seen him do anything like that ever. He's mostly comedic and very like upbeat type stuff. So that's where he sits. You know what I mean? That's like the perfect place for him to sit. Yeah. Okay. Great.
Yeah. It was just Harry seeing it that way. Yeah.
So yeah, we just had our consultant confirm that he was not smiling originally. When he said
that was just Harry perceiving it that way. Which even better.
Which I thought so because it's just the way it's cut together. He's like. Yeah, he's dead. Like, it's like no. So, holy shit, this is the worst.
Go ahead. What?
This is the worst. There's no way you disagree with me about this.
Go ahead.
Mary Jane comes over. He's in his apartment. And Mary. Or they go. No,
back. I disagree with you on this.
They go back after they go see Harry.
I disagree with you on this 100%. I disagree with you. Mary Jane's in the right in this. Sorry, dude.
Absolutely fucking not. Not here. Not here. This is the worst.
No, in the right. Okay, so let me take that back. You're right. She's not fully in the wrong here.
She's fully in the wrong here.
No, she's not.
She's fully in the wrong.
They're both fully in the wrong here. He could have been a little bit more understanding and not made it about himself. That's the problem. Is he made it about himself?
He's not making it about himself.
I also understand, and this is where a lot of guys and girls. By the way, this movie phenomenal in terms of a relationship miscommunication. By the way, they do a really good job in this because this is exactly what miscommunication looks like in a relationship. Okay?
Well, it's not miscommunication if you don't communicate at all.
That's what I mean by miscommunication. No, it isn't miscommunication. No. She is saying, can you not make this about yourself? Try to understand how I'm feeling. And he still tries to make it about himself.
He's not, okay.
I know he's not trying to.
He's not making it about himself.
He's trying to give an example.
No, he's not trying to give an example.
He is, though.
He is saying, try to understand how I feel. Or she's saying that.
Yeah.
And what he's doing is saying, yeah, I understand how you feel, and he relates it perfectly to what he's been through.
Yes, exactly. Giving an example of trying to understand why he's understanding. But all she literally...
But so he does understand exactly how she's feeling.
Okay, clearly you don't know how to read women because all she wanted...
it doesn't matter.
Yes, because all she wanted in that moment was for him to be like...
It doesn't fucking
everything
matter.
Everything will be okay. All she wanted was...
It doesn't matter. That's a shitty thing to do. You're a shitty person for doing that.
No, that's...
Either communicate it or shut the fuck up.
No, that's not how that works. It's not always how that works because you can't always communicate it when you're hurt in that moment. When you're hurt in that moment, you gotta understand her point of view. She just read a review. She was hurt as fuck, and she's not gonna know how to communicate. I just want you to say everything's okay because all she wants in that moment is it's not clicking. All he had to do was understand in that moment, okay, clearly this isn't making her feel better. But instead, he's just so overjoyed and so happy that he literally blindly, instead of him just being like, everything's going to be okay, or give her like a hug. He didn't even fucking go for like a hug or anything. It was so cold, bro. On his end.
He was being so supportive.
He was trying to be. He was trying to be, but he didn't read the room.
On another level. Like, I've never seen a movie where someone was so goddamn supportive. He was like, fuck those people. You were amazing. I was right there. I saw how fucking good you were. I know.
But sometimes,
and then he goes... And then he goes, yeah, I totally get it. You have to ignore those people because they'll say bullshit about you. And she goes, this isn't about you. This is about me.
He said, oh, when I was Spider-Man, he's like, when I was Spider-Man,
I really ripped my hair out when she said that.
No,
it pissed me off
how though? Because he did make it about himself. He's like, oh, when I was Spider-Man, if I read all those reviews and blah, 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 I get what he's going, I get both sides, okay? I think this is where our age is definitely going to differ because when I was younger, I used to have this, it's funny, when I was younger, I actually had the same attitude. I was like, "Oh, fuck Mary Jane. She's in the wrong." She's not though. She's not. You have to understand. Now that I'm older and I understand how to read a fucking room, she literally just wanted to feel for him to just put his fucking arms around her and say everything will be okay. And he wasn't understanding that.
It's more nuanced than that when we talk about the whole movie because there are parts where as it goes on, it gets worse. But in this situation, he's in the right.
He's not fully in the right, though.
He's being so supportive.
This is where you can start to see
she is being a selfish fucking. This isn't about you. It's about me, bitch. He's not being fucking.
Think about this for a second. Okay. She is out. Yes, she is. She is outshined by Spider-Man at all times. Okay. At all times, and in this moment, she just didn't want Spider-Man in this conversation. That's all it is, bro. That's literally all it is. She did not want Spider-Man in this conversation, and he brought Spider-Man up. So she's always outshined. Now, it is partially selfish on her part. I will not disagree with that. She could have been a lot more understanding.
It's entirely selfish on her part.
It's not entirely selfish. It's not entirely selfish to want comfort, and that's what she wanted.
Instead of seeing him,
she could have comforting her
again, and saying this stuff. Instead of seeing that, she only sees what she wants to see, which is, oh, he's talking about Spider-Man again. Yes. She takes the exact wrong thing out of that whole fucking situation. She cherry picks the one piece out of the conversation.
Welcome to...
Out of all of his support. I don't care if it's like a woman thing.
It's not even a woman thing. It's not even a woman thing.
It doesn't matter.
Welcome to miscommunication. It doesn't make you a shitty person.
It does.
No, it really doesn't, though.
It does.
So you're telling me if you're in a relationship and something like this happened, you're going to leave somebody in a heartbeat? No. Because if you,
I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying she's being shitty.
Yes, and I agree. She's being. They're both being kind of shitty. Is what I'm saying. It's not just Peter.
Not in this situation though. In some of the future. All
right, we can make a whole. We've been arguing about this for a good solid like 7 minutes, bro.
Because you're wrong.
No, I'm really not. In
all this situation.
No, I want to. Sorry, but no. She really honestly.
We're gonna pause for a second. We're gonna go watch the scene. We're gonna go watch that scene in particular and see how fucking supportive he is.
I'm not saying he's not supportive. Absolutely, he's supportive. But the problem is, he should have read the situation when he brought up Spider-Man, and then he brings up Spider-Man again, and even worse, you can clearly tell. She is sick of Spider-Man, and then the police fucking thing comes through, and he's like, "Go get him, Tiger!" Like, bro,
that's the other thing. That's the other thing is we just talked about Hawkeye. I was like, yeah, if you're gonna get into a fucking relationship with someone who's a superhero. You know what you're in for. If you can't handle it, get the fuck out.
It's not that she can't handle it.
She can't. She's jealous of him. It's not even.
In this moment, she's jealous.
In all of it, she's jealous. That's the whole point of the fucking movie. That's the whole point of the movie. She walks out of the theater and she thinks people are clapping for her, but it's actually for Spider-Man, and she gets pissed. Yes. Oh, they're clapping for Spider-Man and not me.
You have absolutely no sympathy, bro. You have to understand the situation.
There's nothing to be sympathized with.
Are you fucking crazy? She just had a bad review over what she thought was a great show. Because the night before she was told by her boyfriend and all the people that watch her, you did great. And then she goes and reads the reviews and it's bad. So now, yes, of course she's going to be upset. She's down. Even worse, and she gets fired in that situation. And now she's even down even worse. and then she's like comes out, and it's Spider-Man again.
Here's the thing, right?
Yes.
In the movie, you're watching it and you're like, she's good. Like when you're watching her performance. Yes. But realistically, they're not fucking. They have no reason to lie to her. Every single person who saw the show thought she was dog shit.
Yeah.
So she's not good.
Yes, I get that.
And so instead of being like, damn, maybe I need to work on this, she's like, fuck Spider-Man. He thinks he's better than me. Oh, that's not her attitude. Oh, but I'm actually good.
No, clearly, no, that's clearly not her attitude, bro. God
damn, I'm sweating. It's getting. You know what they say? An argument's getting heated.
Yeah, this is what it is. It is getting heated because you're wrong. You're so wrong because it's not that you're wrong. No, sorry.
In this split second where we had to adjust this audio, I just thought of something which changes my perspective a little bit, which is that, you know, what I'm looking at it from is it's a sign of maturity to not do this shit. This shit is immature as absolute fuck.
It
the
can
way
be.
She's acting.
Absolutely, it can be. But
the reason I say that is because in my mind I'm watching two like 30-year-olds argue in a relationship. I'm like, you guys should be past this. But they're supposed to be fucking in college. So now that you say that...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They are supposed to be stupid morons.
That's what I'm saying,
So she is supposed to be like a fucking idiot who doesn't understand how to communicate and all that stuff. That's
what I'm saying. It's not even...
That doesn't make it better. But it just means like...
But it's also supposed to be Peter's just as naive, though, is what I'm saying. Peter's naive. He's not understanding. You're being just as naive as Peter. What you're not understanding is...
No,
what you're catching is...
I'm not being naive. I'm saying a sign of maturity should be...
Yes.
To not act the way that she acts.
Yes, but you also have to understand...
So what I'm saying is, I'm not in that position. I'm
no.
up here.
But what I'm saying is, at the same time, you have to understand what we're seeing is the moments where she's kicked down. Think about it like this, okay? You're in a relationship, right? And you and your significant other, you just got fired. You got fired. You were told you're absolute dog shit. You're garbage, right? You're completely feeling like trash.
Yeah.
And then you go home and you just had the worst day of your fucking life, okay? And your partner comes in, and they're just all like, oh, my God, I had such a good day, and blah, blah, blah. And you're trying to tell them about your miserable day. But in reality, it's not that person is so shitty that, you know, it's not that Peter's bad for being all like, oh, I'm so happy. It's just he's being so naive is the thing. He's just like, he's so happy that he's not realizing how unhappy she is.
Right.
He's not taking a moment to be like, oh, shit, like, okay, you're clearly bad. Dude, he didn't even read the situation when they were with the Gwen Stacy thing. That was even worse.
The difference is that in this first scenario where this happens, she hasn't lost her job. It's one singular critic review.
Yes.
And he's trying to be supportive of her. She's not having her worst day of her life.
But it's her passion. Literally, they set this up in Spider-Man 1. It is her passion. It's what she wants.
I agree with what you're saying when it comes to later, when she actually loses her job.
Yes.
In this case, one critic wrote a bad review about her, and he's supporting her and being like, you can't listen to that shit. You're amazing. I love you. Yes. And she goes, this isn't about you. It's about me.
Yeah, but that's not what he says. You're reading.
I know he relates it to Spider-Man, but that's because he's saying, I understand how you're feeling. You have to ignore these fucking shitty people like J. Jonah Jameson, who, by the way, is much fucking worse than this critic who said, oh, you're just kind of mid.
Yeah, because he owns a whole paper. Yes.
Yeah, but it's not even just that he owns a whole paper. He fucking constantly, literally shits on Spider-Man.
No, I get that.
This is just like a mid review.
I know. I get that.
Calling her mid Jane Parker. What the fuck?
Not yet. That comes later.
Midi Jane. You know, that was the review, and she's like, you know.
No, but you gotta understand, it's her passion. If you have a passion, okay, like we like doing this, right? And let's say we become like extremely passionate about it later, and you have a professional fucking reviewer that comes and just shits on us. Like you're gonna be like, damn, okay, that kind of sucks. Or even worse, if we're shooting a video for like a TikTok or something, and we felt like we put our fucking heart and soul into it, like we laid it all out on the line, and literally the first comment that pops on there is, that was complete dog shit.
You know what I would love though in that situation? Someone who's been through all that and understands it to tell me, hey, it's going to be okay. Because I've been where you've been.
Okay.
I've been where you've been.
Moving on. It's been almost 10 minutes.
But you see what I'm saying?
Yes,
if you're in that situation,
I agree with you.
What's the best thing that can happen is someone who loves you to come and say, hey, I've been there. It's going to be okay. You're going to get through it.
What you need to understand, sometimes a person...
you've been through it? It's not about you. It's about me.
Yes, because at the end of the day, sometimes people just literally want to be told, "Hey, everything will be okay." They don't care about.
That's exactly what he told her.
Yeah, but no, he didn't though.
Yes, he did.
He still brought up his.
He said it's going to be okay. Just ignore it. I've been there.
Again, this isn't even that bad. It's not even that bad. It's not even that bad.
Yeah, I know. It gets way worse.
I know. It gets so much worse. That's what I'm saying. And I'm sorry, Peter's in the wrong later on. I don't care what you say.
Yeah, but not here.
Not here. He's not fully in the wrong. But she's not fully in the wrong either. You're saying she's fully in the wrong, but she's not fully in the wrong either.
Here she is.
She's not. We're moving on. She's not. We're moving on.
Because she's here. She's starting to get delusional to see like what she thinks is gonna like how Peter is the rest of the movie is the way she sees him here. But he's not that here. So she's projecting all this shit onto him when he's just trying to help her.
I get that.
So right here,
I even said you can even ask
wrong.
Rachel. I even said to Rachel, I was like, in that scene specifically, I understand that he was trying to tell her, "Hey, I've been through this, so I get it and I understand." And she wasn't having it because
that's exactly what she wanted to hear. Like that's
somewhat
what she wanted to hear, and she just took.
I just don't think she wanted to hear about Spider-Man in this moment.
She just took Spider-Man out of that.
Yeah, that's
which is fucking bullshit.
But anyways, yes, I get it.
But I think specifically the thing that pissed me off is when she literally like he's like in full supportive mode.
Yeah.
Mid sentence, and she stops. She goes, "This isn't about you. This is about me." And I wanted to fucking punch my screen the way she says it, dude.
Yeah, it's slightly
oh
like
my god, will you shut the fuck up and let him like support you.
I'll say it does seem like she's making a fight out of it. I will say that. But you also have to understand.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, that's the
her
thing.
passion
she
was
blows
shit
it
on.
So out of proportion. And anyway,
I'm just saying her passion was shit on, and
so
I get
anyway,
it.
you know, he swings again. He swings out or something. It's when he's swinging to go save Gwen.
Yes.
Can't understand why aren't we having him swing on buildings?
I don't
Throughout
understand that either.
the whole movie. And
it's only in those specific types of scenes. By the way,
I can't comprehend it.
It's only in those specific type of scenes. Like
it's
the ones where they try to do the wide like IMAX-y shots.
It's just whenever he's just purely swinging, just swinging through the city.
Yeah.
It's always on nothing.
Yeah, I don't understand why either.
Great
I honestly
save.
think I honestly think they're just trying to show you a bigger scale of the city. I really think that's what it is. But they're ruining it by not having him swing on anything.
Yeah. It's fucking weird, but a great save when he saves
unlike
her.
Andrew
So
Garfield.
well done. What? What?
Unlike Andrew Garfield.
Excuse me. Yeah,
I was saying he said
Glenn,
unlike Andrew Garfield.
In these movies, I don't think it would even be possible for that scenario to happen, because in these movies his webs are super like bungee. Like,
yeah,
they're so stretchy.
They are.
So like, you know, I mean,
it has a buoyancy to it.
In Andrew's, like her head hits the ground or whatever. But in this, like, if you wanted to have it like snap her back from the tensile strength thing, it doesn't work that way.
No, because it is. It's very bungee. It literally pulls.
It wouldn't fit the universe.
And I actually think that's on purpose.
I
actually think that's on purpose, and it's cool.
So you know,
nice
in this way, it wouldn't even be possible for him to do that, which is interesting. I just thought about that, but. Anyway, yeah, this sequence is so fucking good. The way he's diving between the shit and the rubble and getting to her.
Yes.
Great.
I love that scene.
Good.
It's really good. Very good save. We have the Eddie Brock and what is he? Sergeant? Whatever?
Yeah, it's Captain Stacy.
Captain, yeah.
Yeah, he comes up and he goes, "I'm the new guy."
Yeah.
So they weren't referencing
I was
him
thinking
in
the
one.
same thing. They were not referencing him
It's just
in one.
some other guy named Eddie.
It's some other guy named Eddie, yeah.
What are the odds? Not that many people named Eddie, so that's weird.
So
yeah, so probably what it was is they didn't know they were going to actually introduce him, so they were like, let's do a little nod here.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I'm the new guy. So, yeah, and he's just like, you know, he's got like the shit-eating grin on his face, and he's like, also, I'm dating your daughter.
Yeah, which
like,
you find out later.
Shut the fuck up.
You find out later they kind of technically weren't dating.
Yeah, they just fucked.
No, they didn't even
fuck.
had a cup of coffee.
He thinks, in his mind,
in his mind, she's 9 months. She's like 8 months pregnant, about to have her kid. And in her mind, she's like, we had a cup of coffee, dude. Like, relax. Creepo.
So we get the first JJ scene. Dude, this is so good. This is one of his best scenes. Might be his best scene.
Actually,
in all three of the movies.
Real quick, I actually want to drop a very important 100%.
This is gonna be such a long video.
No, shut up. But it's a really good little nod. Did you notice a newspaper in the background?
Maybe.
Doc Ock still at large, as in they never found his body.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's a newspaper in the back. Yeah, it says Doc Ock still at large.
When you mentioned it, though, I remember seeing stuff online about that, but I didn't look at it.
But yeah, Doc Ock still at large, meaning they never recovered his body. So
yeah, because I wanted to talk about that. Very interesting. It just goes to show again how much Sam Raimi did not want to put Venom in this movie. Everyone else, Goblin, I don't know, sometimes he comes back to life in the comics. Doc Ock, well, he was just underwater. Arms could have swam him out. Sandman blew away in the breeze.
Yeah.
Harry dies, but he's not really a villain.
Yeah.
Venom, atomized.
Bro,
He's gone.
Absolutely
Eddie and the symbiote fucking
not a trace.
obliterated.
Yeah, not a trace.
There's no shot.
By the way, you know what happened to them? Other universe. That way you never have to come back to the Sam Raimi universe.
Shot there ever. Yeah, they're done.
Yeah.
Like, it's
completely
the same thing when we talked
fuck.
about another movie I don't want to say, but it's like sometimes when you want to kill a character, you gotta really kill him.
Yeah, but guess what?
You can't leave any opening for it.
I'm sorry to tell you, unfortunately, Venom's not dead because, if I remember reading correctly, they actually were gonna bring him back through the sample that he gave Connors.
Venom, but not Eddie. Though.
Not Eddie.
Eddie's
No. But
that's
Venom,
what I mean.
the
It's like
symbiote. Yeah.
Venom, like Venom.
Eddie. Yeah.
Would
No,
be
but the
done.
symbiote's still there because of Connors, I believe.
So, yeah.
Who, by the way, did you notice that they set him up? Did you notice
No.
the scene where they're talking about the symbiote for the first time?
Yeah.
You realize he's missing his arm?
He's been missing his arm since 2.
Has he been missing his arm
Yeah,
since 2?
you missed that. Yeah, when he walks by.
My bad, people.
Yeah. When he walks, how would he not be missing it? That's his whole thing. Is he
You're
doesn't
right.
have his
You're
arm.
right. I just realized
That would
that
be
you're
so
right
weird
when he
if
walked
he
by.
just shows up in 3. He's like, let me not mention that I lost my arm in between
Yeah,
movies.
yeah, you're right. No, you're
when
right.
he walks away, by him in 2, he's missing his arm. It's just kind of
right.
like,
But here's
stapled,
more.
it's
here
kind of like
it's
stapled
definitely
up and like you can't. But
here it's like blatantly obvious.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. And I think that's them laying groundwork for a villain.
Yeah, he was going to be in apparently he was supposed to be in like 2 or something. They were supposed to have him originally. They were going to have him, New Goblin, Doc Ock, and one other person in Spider-Man 2. They were going to do 4 villains.
Jesus, no.
And so that goes to show you like
They probably
he didn't
push
want
that
Venom.
early.
He didn't want Venom in 3, but either way. You know, the amount of villains in the movie wasn't necessarily a studio
problem.
thing.
No,
it wasn't necessarily a studio forced on him. He would have put a shit ton of villains in it anyway. It's just that he didn't want to put Venom in it.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so it's hip, it's now, it's wow, and how, baby. That one's me. That one's Johnny from accounting.
Yeah.
This one's also me. It's like, dude, halfway it's so fucking funny. And then the whole pill thing.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
that's
it's
so funny.
dude.
Not that one. Yeah. Not that one. And then he goes to put his thing. He's like, and then he goes. No, but then he goes.
Drink water.
Yeah, and then he goes. Thank you. Dude, the comments he's ever been. It's so good.
It's fucking amazing, dude. It's so good. Oh my god. Yeah, and then I wrote again, hired him last week. They mentioned that he hired Eddie last week, so it definitely wasn't a thing.
It actually makes me kind of mad because we know the truth. If he was just mentioned as an off thing, if you're a comic book fan.
Yeah.
Anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
We get shut up. Get
up. Yep. Yeah. I love
think
that. Shut up. Get out. I quote that all the time.
You were on that, like, you saw that at least a few times on TikTok, right? When that was a thing.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So that was that was a meme. Shut up. Get out. And then we get Stan Lee.
Yes. I can't believe I'm going to say this. I can't believe I'm going to say this. Believe it or not, this is my favorite Stan Lee cameo ever. Ever. I'm not even joking because it's so subtle. It's so sweet and it's so simple.
Subtle.
Yeah, not subtle,
it's kind
but
of like really in your face.
It is,
but it is
not
sweet.
subtle. I didn't mean subtle, but it's subtle.
Sweet.
But it's very sweet and very like genuine. Like you can tell this is very early on where he didn't realize his masterpieces were going to become something big, and to him this is like
it's what they tried to do with him in Venom.
Yeah,
you remember at the end? That's like what they were going for, was him to show up and be
here,
like,
he's just like,
hey, wink, wink, breaking the fourth wall, and like you guys go.
Yeah, but here he's like,
in this one
is more
works.
impactful. Yeah, it works. He's like, this goes to show you that one person can make a difference, and it's so good.
My favorite, this is the best in terms of like emotional and stuff.
Yeah.
My favorite is still Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh, the one with the...
That's like...
I don't mean in a comedic sense. I mean in like a very heartfelt...
I know what you mean. Yeah. In terms of that, it's the best one.
Yeah.
But in terms of just like all around, like top to bottom, it's the Amazing Spider-Man.
The Spider-Man was a good one, but I think I like...
Not even better. I think this is better than any MCU one. It's just... I don't know. I've never seen anything top that. It's just so...
I don't know. I like the one where he's sitting around with the Watchers, bro. I like that one because it makes him a watcher spy. Not a watcher, but like a watcher spy. So, I don't know.
Anyway, so... the amnesia thing is just fucking... this is when they go back to his apartment, I think.
Yeah. And they're very back and forth again. Yeah. Very back and forth again.
You know, I hate that it's the way that they chose to go about it, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, I do at least like that we get normal Harry back.
Yes.
I'm so glad we get him back, but I just hate that it has to be in this
lovable,
way.
Though, dude.
Yeah.
He is. He's I love the moments between him and MJ. Yeah. And the thing is, I don't feel like she's cheating on Peter. And guess what? I don't think she even thinks she's cheating on Peter. Yeah, they have that kiss because she had a moment of like, oh no, like I'm kind of falling for him because I've been with him before. But in all seriousness, I don't think she thought of cheating on Peter. Like she didn't go here with the intent of cheating on Peter. She came here with the intent of like genuinely a friend that could be there for me at the moment. Because don't forget, they kind of sort of were like 3 buddies. They did kind of grow up together.
3 buddies.
But like that whole relationship just strained. That whole trio.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, so I wrote, she goes to the theater, and she finds out she's been replaced.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, by the way, every single review said you were fucking
terrible.
awful.
Yeah.
And
because she's like, it was just one critic, and they're like, no, it was every
By the
critic.
way, yeah, you were terrible. And yeah, it was handled poorly, and they should have contacted her, whatever. Yeah. And then I just wrote, oh no, sorry you're a shitty actress. What a shame.
Dude, you're such a dick,
I was so pissed at her.
You're such a dick, bro. You gotta have better understanding than that. Like, yeah, it sucks. Yeah, she sucks. To us, it wasn't, because she doesn't sound bad.
I know.
I don't know if you knew this, by the way. That's really her singing.
Yeah. No, I could tell. You can definitely tell at the end as well when she's doing like the jazzy stuff in the bar.
Like she lip syncs, but she actually sang it.
It was her, yeah. But I just think, in the universe, they're saying, in this universe, that is shitty.
Yeah.
To everyone else. And like, yeah, I feel bad for her.
Yeah.
But don't take your fucking rage out on being jealous of Spider-Man. He's not going
it's understandable.
Because it's not like, it's not intentional. He's just doing his thing.
Yeah,
he just happens to swing by and she goes, fuck him. You know
also,
what I mean?
I hate this scene. Not because she's jealous of Spider-Man. Again, that's semi-understandable. It's
semi-understandable.
Yes. Okay, but what the fuck? I'm so mad at this scene, right? Because he swings into the parade.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? He's literally, we see him swing into the parade, okay? Think about that for a second, right? And then the next shot, it's him as Peter Parker. And then literally, like, not even like what you would assume is like a minute later, in his suit again. What was that editing, bro? He literally was like, he's swinging into the parade, and you would assume he would be landing on top of the building.
Yeah.
Right? But no, he's back on the street, being in photography mode.
Yeah.
In Peter Parker form, and then boom, back up on the... What? Whatever. Without a mask on, where it's not a super high building, clearly.
If anybody turned around, he's
they
like
would have
right
seen
there.
Not even that, the people on the stage could see him, bro. They literally know the spot he's coming from. They set that up. And he's just like, hey, everybody, no mask. Like, fuck you. There's so many... like, there's so many moments where he has no mask on where you're just like... If you expect me to believe that nobody knows he's Peter Parker, you can kiss my ass. Like, no.
I don't know.
No, especially during the construction scene where he falls with no mask.
It's like a Superman thing where it's just like you can't.
Yeah,
it's just they don't give a shit.
Yeah,
people just don't see through it because
it's very comic booky is what it's supposed to be. By the way, they did a really good job of getting rid of a lot of the cheesiness in this movie.
Like, I'm going to talk about that.
Yeah. This is what I meant when I said they hit their stride. It's like they found that perfect, like, not pacing, but they found that perfect level.
Tone.
Yeah, thank you. A tone of how to do the movie. Mm-hmm. Anyways, yeah.
And I think it's at this point where he's like, hey, like...
Are you okay?
Yeah, are you all right?
Yes.
And he's like, you know what? Fuck that review. We're going to be laughing about it by tomorrow.
Yeah, no, sorry. He's in the wrong in this. He should have read her a little bit better.
But in this scenario,
though,
she's not. But she's not. She's not how she was in the first one
In the first
scene where they argue. She is appearing pretty normal. Like she seems kind of down, but she doesn't seem like I just got fired and everything's fucked
because
down.
she doesn't want to take away from his moment. That's also understandable. If you love somebody enough, even if you are feeling like shit, trust me, even if you're feeling like complete garbage. You're not going to want to take away from a moment that's huge.
Sure, but then there's really nothing to blame Peter for saying that.
No.
He is just trying to be supportive again.
No. She doesn't get mad at him for this. She really doesn't. Yeah. She's not mad at him at all. She's just like, she's being...
But that's what I'm saying.
She's being the supportive girlfriend. Sorry to tell you. That's
but that's what I'm saying is like, this interaction is not like toxic in any way. He's being very nice to her.
Yeah.
And she's accepting it and being like, yeah, you know what? Sure. Well, maybe it will all be okay.
Yeah, because she doesn't want to ruin it. The one who ruins it is Peter, which we'll get into here in a second.
Well, no, I mean, like, she's not... Like, she doesn't even have, like, she's just like, yeah, you know what? Maybe it's okay. Like, she's not like, oh, I'll just pretend that everything's all right just because he's being nice. I think he does actually kind of encourage her, being like, oh, we'll be laughing about it tomorrow. Fuck all this.
Yeah.
We'll go get dinner. It'll be okay. And she's like, okay, maybe, you know? And I skip a little bit of stuff, but yeah, I'm like, very confused about this whole scenario.
I hate this scene.
It's
this
so
scene
out of
makes
character.
Me hate, yes, this scene makes me hate Peter though because
But that's
it's like,
the thing
what
is,
were you thinking, dude?
It's a problem with the movie.
It is.
It's a problem with the movie, and that's the problem. It's like,
but it still makes me hate Peter because it's like he's still. He's still.
Yeah, it makes you hate him, but he shouldn't have. It made no sense for him to do it. That's
what
the
I'm
problem.
saying. What
if
the
you
fuck
had just
was
given him the
this scene?
symbiote earlier.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Just give him the symbiote earlier, and boom, problem solved.
Yes.
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and by the way, I saw some people try to argue online. They're like, "Oh, just because he's in the mere presence of it, it's been affecting him." No, sorry, that's not how that works. He hasn't
had anything on him.
latched onto you. It has to be. That's how the symbiote works.
No, what's really happening? See, it would be a little bit more defendable if he wasn't the one who was like, "Hey, kiss me."
Yeah, exactly. That's the worst part.
I wasn't expecting it. I was like on the edge of my seat, like ready to defend him. I was like, she must like grab him and pull it. It's like one of those misunderstandings.
No, but he's just like,
hey. It's like Captain America and that girl
it gets so
in
much
the first
worse.
one. You know what I
By
mean?
the way, the kiss isn't even the worst part. It gets way worse.
But you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
In the first one where
Yes.
Peggy walks in on them and he's like, no, she grabbed me.
Yeah,
I thought that's what it was going to be.
Nope.
But he initiates it.
Yes.
And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
And it gets worse.
But it seems to
worse.
be, and especially she talks about it later, and I might be reading into it too much, but I feel like it's almost a little bit of like not an analogy, but like a commentary on like actors and actresses, like people who, if you date someone in the industry and they go to work, Spider-Man,
yeah,
and they're playing a different character, but they're kissing other people and doing sex scenes. I feel like there's something there. I feel like they were trying to comment on that.
I could admit that if that dinner
I'm not
scene,
defending it.
No,
I'm just saying,
I could admit that if that dinner scene doesn't happen later, which we'll get into here more in a second.
But I think.
But
I think
no,
it's,
sorry, that tanked after. I could have also made the same defense, but then I forgot all about that dinner scene, and then I was like,
no, I'm not saying it's not a defense. I'm just saying, like, I think when they were writing the movie, I think they were making a commentary on it, because when they're at that dinner scene, she says like, "Was it you kissing her,
or was it
Spider-Man,
or was it you?" Yeah,
which just sounds like if you were to make
worse.
like a drama movie about somebody dating an actress and be like, "Was it you kissing him,
yeah,
or was it your character?"
Yeah, but it makes sense in that tone because of everything.
No, it makes sense. I'm just trying to say, like, I think maybe I'm reading into
that dinner
too
scene
much
because I actually love that dinner scene.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, it's great.
But yeah, anyways, he's up.
Sandman.
Yeah.
Sandman. I find it so funny that these cops go around and lose him, and then he goes up on there. He thinks this is a normal guy. He was about to fucking decapitate this normal guy with a shovel.
With a shovel, yeah. And that's not even just that. It's
what?
The way he disappears, right?
Yeah.
It's a little too quick. You don't think so?
No, I don't think so.
Not even like a streak of sand is left behind. Not even like a whooshing noise. Nothing. It's just the cop literally. He turns the corner. The cop puts his back up against.
I think it's just because they don't actually show how fast he can
I
disintegrate
don't know.
himself in these movies.
So fast,
they don't show it physically, but
and
I
not
think
just that. There's a bunch of people.
To,
there's a bunch of people there on the left side of where Sandman was at. They're gonna be like, "Oh my god, he turned into sand and went inside of the thing." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's just like, get away from here, and they leave. Like, okay, fuck off.
But I think they never show him, like, anytime they show him turning into sand, it's him like drifting away.
Yeah.
But I think if he wanted to, like in the scenario, he can just fucking drop. He
probably could.
But anyway, wait, this happens actually. This is intercut with this is before the kiss that what we're talking about right now.
Oh yeah, you're right, because it goes to lead up to that.
And
kiss.
I love though. There's the one kid, and he's like, "Hey, give me a big kiss, lay it on me, you'll love it."
Like,
and the kid's like, "No!"
Yeah, and then when he does it, he's like, "Ugh!" Like,
should have listened to the kid, dude.
Yeah.
So and then all that goes down, and then he goes to stop Sandman.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good fight sequence. It's not mind blowing.
Oh wait, you skipped over one part.
I'm out of breath from yelling.
You skipped one part where Harry and MJ have a nice little moment. Where Harry's like,
I think that's one of his best performances in the whole movie.
Yeah, he's like, "There's something wrong."
Hit me on the head or something. He's like,
"Oh yeah," he's like, cute. It's a really cutesy moment between the two. Yeah.
Yeah. But it would be. But that's the thing is like, I wish it was like a cute friend moment. But it seems like in retrospect, it was almost kind of like a little flirty.
For her, yes.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
For her, a little bit.
That's the problem. Because then it sets up for her later to be like, oh, he's gonna be kind of like,
yeah,
my rebound type thing. But yeah, it's a pretty good fight sequence. It's nothing mind blowing, but it's cool. It's like very typical Sandman stuff. It's like a very like it's
Spider-Man gets wrecked.
It feels like a very animated episode of like a show that you would see where like, Sandman's robbing the truck.
Spider-Man gets beat pretty good. Almost to a point where he has an unbelievable amount of sand in his fucking boot.
I know. I was gonna say the sand gag after is fun.
Yeah, it's funny.
And he's like, where do these guys come from?
Yeah.
Okay, so now he's going to the dinner, and we'll get Bruce Campbell in his
my
final cameo.
God.
This might be
This is my favorite one. My favorite one, dude. My favorite one.
And it's funny though because this one he's not an asshole to him. He's like
not.
Nice.
He's super nice.
He's super supportive,
but still super fucking funny, dude.
Yeah.
No, he's still an asshole because
slightly.
Because when he gives him the ring, he's like,
Yeah.
oh, and he pulls out the glasses. He's like,
yeah.
He's like, oh, there it is. Like,
Yeah.
fuck you, dude. Like, it's so mean.
So, but yeah, I love at the for some reason in the middle of it, he like specifies. He's like talking. He's like, "Oh yes, we," or whatever.
Yeah.
And then Peter's like, "Okay, yeah, we're ready." And he says something else. He's like, "I am French." He
Yeah.
stops and like takes a second.
Yeah,
his
he's
accent
like-
drops. He's like, "I am French." I thought it was so funny. He's like, "I want to make sure you understand. I am French." It was like so like just an aside. Like he didn't need to say it at all.
But even more amazing, by the way, is
oh my god, dude, I'm losing my voice.
So Gwen Stacy comes in. You want some water?
Jesus, I mean, I have water.
Okay. When Gwen Stacy comes in, he waves.
Yeah.
And then Bruce Campbell's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah,
And he's
yeah.
like, he's like,
And they go back and forth the whole
right?
time.
Yeah. But then my favorite one is when he does the hand thing again on accident. I can't remember why he does it. And then he's like, right? And they're all rushing, and then he's like, and the guy's just like, "Oh, okay, my bad."
Yeah,
It's so good, dude.
So, but then the best part, and it's all, of course, it's also a meme. But when he's waiting for it to show up, and he goes, "How'd that get in there?"
Bro, again, I didn't realize how many memes,
dude.
Dude, it's so crazy.
Funny. That might be my favorite one,
Really?
especially in context.
I like the
in context of the movie though, because like the other ones are really funny out of context. This one in the context is just like so goopy. How'd that get in there? He's like smiling as he says it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude, it's so fucking funny. Yeah, she. But here's the other thing that's very indefensible about Mary Jane that you can't defend is the fact that she doesn't. It's the same scenario as Peter not telling Harry that, "Hey, I didn't kill your dad." She doesn't say, "Hey, I got fired. Why don't you comfort me?" Instead, she's just like, "Comfort me for something I haven't told you about."
This? You ready for this? This is actually a very believable thing, and I guarantee a lot of people will agree with me on this. So when you're with a significant other, okay, and you're like deeply in love, and they're succeeding, you don't want to tell your significant other, "Hey, I failed," and that's exactly what she doesn't want to do. Yeah. She doesn't want to tell him. Because again, this is her dream. Don't forget that. And he's still hyping her up. Again, he's being supportive. He's hyping her up so much to the point where she doesn't want to tell him, "Hey, I failed," and that's it.
Right, but that's in this scenario. But she should have told him at the at any point. And even Harry is like, "She didn't fucking tell you. Like, this is weird." Yeah. That's too big of a thing for her, especially when you're talking about how passionate she is about it. It's too unbelievable that she wouldn't mention it.
It's not though, because again. She's looking at the man that she really... It doesn't matter what she did with Harry where she kissed him. It doesn't matter what she's done. This is the man that she absolutely loves, okay? Yes, they had a very tough strain to the point where she does kiss Harry, but she still absolutely loves Peter Parker. Not Spider-Man, she absolutely loves Peter Parker. So for her to turn and tell him, "Hey, I failed," he's so supportive that it would break his heart. I don't see it as her wanting to break his heart. I'm telling you, that's
he wouldn't know because it's set up. It's set up in the movie previously that he would support because it's the same thing. The critic thing. I know. He would be like, "You know what? You're amazing anyway. Fuck them."
I get it. I
said that.
I get that. But what I'm saying is, from her point of view, it would be different to the point where she wants to be like, "I wouldn't want to break his heart." Like I feel like this would put pressure on him that he doesn't need. She's still trying to be supportive. No, she's still trying to be supportive. Nah, she's trying to be supportive. I promise you, she is. Because even when they get into a fight...
No, because the way they try to portray it in the movie is not that it's an intentional thing on her part, but more that like, oh, she can't get a word in. That's the way they try to portray it. It's the same thing in the Miles Morales game, which I know you haven't finished.
No, I haven't, but...
They try to portray it like, oh, you can't get a word in because, he's bragging about himself. That's what they're trying to portray it as, which is still so stupid because you would just say, "Hey, guess what? Shut the fuck up. I lost my job."
Not in natural conversation, though. That's not how that goes.
It's not natural. You have to interrupt him and say, "Hey,
I
lost my fucking job. Can you stop talking about Spider-Man, please?"
Yeah, but most people don't do that, though. That's not how that... That's not...
But in this scenario, she's supposed to be pissed at him. She's supposed to be pissed at him for talking about Spider-Man. So
but 99.9% of the fucking human population will not do that because that's not how we're programmed. That's not how it is. Nobody's just gonna be like, "Oh, hey, this happened to me," and then somebody says, "I'd be like, I got fucking fired today." Nobody's gonna do that. That's not what's gonna happen.
I hate to break to you though. These movies are not portraying real people, you know?
Yeah, I know, I get that, but you're making it seem that way because you're saying she's shitty, but she's not though.
But look, what I'm saying, I'm not saying like, yeah, it's unnatural to say that, but that's what the whole point is. She's so angry that she should interrupt and be like, hey, fuck off. Like, listen to what happened to me. That makes sense for her character in that scenario.
To be fair, she was going to tell him at dinner. She was going to tell him full well, and then here comes Gwen Stacy. She was going to tell him. And then she shows up, told him right and away. Now she has an absolutely justifiable fucking rage, dude. I don't care. There's no way you can defend Peter in this one. There's no way.
Well, I mean, it's not defending him. He just doesn't. He's just too stupid to realize.
That's what I'm saying.
But that doesn't mean he's a shitty person. It just means he's a shitty person. But he is in some sense. It just means he doesn't get it.
No,
to him, because he's such a nerd.
Yes,
because this is a nerd, and he doesn't see it that way. Because in his mind, he knows in his mind he's like, I can literally never have eyes for anyone except for her. Okay, but she doesn't know that because. She's not him. That though,
because that's the same argument as you're reading into it too much. Because the way the movie portrays it is, yeah, he kind of had a little bit of thing for Gwen Stacy. Even in the beginning, when she gives the right answer, he looks at her like, "Oh wow, she's so smart." He looks at her in a way.
No, you're misreading it. That's the whole point. Is that he's just like, "Oh yeah, she's cool."
Yeah,
he's too naive to even realize that.
Yeah, she's
for most people watching that. For most people watching that scenario would think, "Oh, he likes her," but for him, he just thinks,
"I get that."
Oh, she's cool.
But just like you're defending,
he's too nerdy and stupid.
Defending Peter's naiveness, you're kind of thank you. That's the word. Whatever. But you're kind of brushing off the same way as it's part of MJ's characteristic. I'm sorry, but you're
part of MJ's characteristic. What are you talking about?
In terms of like not just flat out coming out and yelling at Peter about, "Hey, this happened." It's almost the same way as Peter being so naive, he's not even saying anything to her. They're both naive. She's naive to the point where
saying anything to who?
I'm saying to Peter about what's going on with her life. I'm saying Mary Jane.
No, Peter.
In the terms of like, hey, this is my lab partner. She clearly has a crush on me. Like, yeah, he's naive to it. You're defending that, but you're not defending the fact that she doesn't want to fucking like break Peter's heart to a point of like saying, "Hey, my dreams kind of just shattered." Like. It's almost the same thing. It's part of their characteristics. It's part of their personality. So you can't defend one and not defend the other, is what I'm saying. It still makes him kind of a crappy person.
Because personality, there's a difference between personality and just not saying something. What is that? What do you mean?
Her personality, it all falls into the same thing. It all falls into the same thing.
You have such a nice personality of not telling anyone you trust about anything going on.
Nice personality.
What is that? That's not personality.
But what would that make your personality is... There's a word for it.
I think you're misusing the word personality.
I am misusing the word personality. It's not that. It's a characteristic. I don't fucking... Who gives a shit, bro? They're both shitty. They're both shitty. Like, they both have such shitty moments, but he's more shitty in this. That kiss...
No, because she is consciously a shitty person. He just...
I don't see her as a shitty person.
Figure out what he's just too nerdy and doesn't understand people.
I would agree with that.
That's his problem. But he's not intentionally doing it.
I would agree with that, but that kiss, that was so out of place.
Yeah, I know it was out of place, but even then, you see him afterwards, he doesn't realize what he did. He doesn't get it.
I know.
He's that fucking stupid. And that's indefensible, sure, but like he's still in this movie, they're portraying him to be so dumb and nerdy that he doesn't understand the concept that like,
that's another thing.
That was a bad idea.
That's another thing we glossed over is they brought back the bullying, like fuck off. Where they were we glossed over that.
Like sitting next to him in the seats or whatever. Yeah. But he also in his mind it's such like a non-sexual thing for him that he's just like, let's give him a show.
I get that.
He's just that stupid.
It's not even just that. He's so naive that literally they're sitting at dinner and Gwen is rubbing the shit out of his shoulder to the point where all she has to do is grasp and grab his cock. That's all his mission. Like, she's literally rubbing on him hard.
Yeah.
And he's not understanding it.
Exactly.
Okay, so I get that. I do get that.
Like,
that's the point.
He's still in the wrong in that scenario, technically, but he doesn't. It's not intentional. He's not like, oh yeah. By the way, I was keeping this a secret from you because I thought you wouldn't understand.
In all reality, they're trying to portray him as he's so nerdy that somebody flirting with him is not a concept.
Yeah, she was just such like a non-thing to him. He was like, why would I tell you about my lab part, or why would you care about
that?
I
get that. I get that.
Like,
this is the most heated conversations we've ever had, by the way. I'm enjoying it. This is the most heated conversations we've ever had.
He doesn't have...
I need this more passion.
Holy shit. Yeah. He doesn't have a reason to think... to tell her about it.
No, I get that.
You know what I mean?
Trust me, I 100% get that.
So that makes sense, but yeah, he should.
But from her point of view,
he should be smart enough to
I know,
realize.
but what I'm saying is from her point of view, think of it like this, right? The last time he saw them together, she did the kiss.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
then
no, I know.
Now she finds out about this.
I'm just saying he's a moron.
I get it.
Well, actually, what it is they're leaning very heavily into they're going so heavily into the stereotype of like
nerd,
big brain genius has no people skills.
Yeah, that's exactly
the
what
thing
it is.
They're doing, and it's like it's very caricature. It's like to the point of caricature that they're doing it. Like,
this is
how
definitely
how is he not realizing what's going on?
This is definitely the most cheesiest thing they do in this for sure.
But also, fuck Gwen Stacy for showing up and rubbing up on him when they're at dinner. What the fuck is wrong with her?
She knows who it is, dude.
Yeah, she knows clearly. Like, she's not. No way, she's as stupid as him. Like, she's trying to act like she doesn't get what's going on either.
But then again, where it cut off when I punched the desk was the inconsistencies with Gwen Stacy because she's so brazen to touch up on Peter in this dinner thing, but then later when Peter acts like a complete scumbag, she's like, "I'm sorry," like in a genuine way, like. Yeah, it's fucking garbage.
I don't know what's
there's a lot of inconsistencies with characters in general. When I slam the desk, look at them; they're on edge.
Oh my god. Okay. Jesus Christ, where did we even leave off?
We were talking about the dinner.
Yeah. We've gone over it.
Yeah, we got over it. We got over it enough.
He missed his chance to propose. It's over. It's done. And so then right after this, he's calling her and leaving a voice message. I fucking hate this too. I know you might not agree. I don't know.
Wait, what is this one?
I think you will agree with me. He calls her, and then he's leaving a message. She's listening to the message, and then she goes to pick it up to talk to him, and he hangs up.
Yeah.
Call him back if you wanted to talk to him. Instead, it seems like she just gets pissed, like, "Oh, wow, he just hung up on me." You know what I mean? Like that's the way they portray it, but it's like just call him back if you actually wanted to talk to him.
If you really were ready to talk. No, you're right. I agree with that. I do agree with that.
But what he actually does is he gets a call from Stacy, or the department goes down. And they do the retcon.
Yeah.
We're doing the retcon, guys. That's what they say. So yeah, I don't know. Tobey's great in the scene. Like when he gets pissed off, he's like, "Fuck you guys! You should have told us about this. You've been investigating this for like 2 years straight, and you haven't mentioned it to us once." Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So at least there's like he's got a good performance to carry along the retcon, even though it's kind of stupid.
Still no black suit, by the way.
No, not yet.
I want to make
it's
sure
coming very, very soon.
By the way, I want to talk about. No, we'll get to it. We'll get to the black suit.
Yeah, but then she shows up, but she goes, "I'm worried about you. I heard about the stuff."
And he's dickish in this.
Yeah.
Yes, and don't you dare say understandably so, because it's going to go right back to the argument at the beginning.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you're going to argue that, it's based off of, well, we talked about it when the fucking shit messed up, but if you're going to argue that her problems are based off of, her fucked up childhood, then then he has every right to be mad because it's about Ben.
But we didn't talk about it, so that's not fair, okay? That's not fair.
We didn't talk about it?
We didn't talk about it on camera. Yeah, but that's not fair. Don't do that. Don't defend Peter, you fucking Spider-Man cockriding fuck.
I'm not defending it. I'm saying, though, if that's your defense for Mary
Jane,
that's not
defense. I didn't make that defense for her. On camera, that's not the defense I made for her. I didn't even think about it. That was Rachel's defense.
But you agree with her.
I don't fully agree with her. I don't fully agree with her. I
agree with her. They just didn't go into it enough.
We both didn't exactly have the best upbringing. We're not fucking toxic like that. Just saying.
Yeah, but... Yeah, no, yeah. So it's not.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So,
but then fuck everyone then.
Honestly,
fuck all these people. Fuck all these people.
They're fake. Who cares? No.
They're all a bunch of fucking losers who don't know how to convey emotion.
Now, yeah, and then Peter in this scene's kind of just very cold.
Yeah. Which I mean, I don't know though, because he still, because let's think about it this way. In his mind, he doesn't even still understand why she's mad at him.
It's true.
He still doesn't get it. So then she comes crawling back as soon as something bad happens to him. He's like, "Fuck you." You know what I mean? Basically. Oh, now you want to come and help me? He's like, "I don't even understand what's going on. Now you want to come back and be nice to me." So like that's his perspective.
No, his perspective is like, "I don't really need you right now." Because he flat out's like, "I don't need help." Like
but that's why he's saying is because he's like, "Fuck you, I don't want your help."
But to be fair, he's also in Spider-Man mode in this. He's not in Peter Parker mode. And this, he really is in Spider-Man. I wrote,
when they go back and forth like this.
It's funny how they talk about Tom Holland has an activate kill mode, but
yeah.
Back in Spider-Man fucking 3, this was definitely activate kill mode.
I wrote though, holy shit, this is bad. Got me ripping my hair out, wanting to punch a baby. I was like, please stop going back and forth like this.
They do that a lot.
That's the whole thing is like, oh, in Spider-Man 1, we're not going to be together. Spider-Man 2, we're going to be together, but we're not going to be together. But we're going to be together, but we're not going to be together. Spider-Man 3, we're together, but we're not together. We're together, but we're not together.
No, we're together, but...
Just make up your fucking mind.
This in Spider-Man 3 is the equivalent of the Facebook It's Complicated.
Dude.
That's what this is.
I can only imagine what the fuck they would have done it for. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, Jesus.
The lizard got me pregnant. Like,
They just keep going. Like, it's just pick something.
he captured me, but he listened to me. Unlike you. Like,
I can't stand it, dude. Because she's not even just like, you know, her backstory with her dad. Like, yeah, it's great, but they don't focus on it enough. So she's just like a non-character. You know what I mean? She doesn't really have anything there. She's just purely there to create tension for Peter.
Yes.
And
that I can agree with.
I wish there was more for her. I wish there was, you know, because that's probably the reason I hate her so much is because there's nothing likable about her. Because they don't give her any sort of thing of her own.
They tried to make her likable with the Go Get 'em Tiger and stuff like that.
This is the only movie where they attempt to give her something with her acting thing and like her losing it, but it just doesn't land. I just don't care about her. I don't give a fuck about her at all.
I mean, to be fair, I barely care about any of the characters as it is. Like, there's development on all ends, but it's like it's still the stronger of the three, in my opinion.
I don't know. I still think Spider-Man won my edge out. I think
I
this
don't know.
is
especially towards this ending scene.
This is
really like this
like a
scene.
6, and then I said Spider-Man 1 is a 6.5. I think I would stick by that. I think so. Just because
you say this was a 6.
The last act of this tanks a lot of it.
It's not that it
for a lot of
tanks,
reasons. But let's not talk about it.
Yeah,
now.
we'll get to it. I don't think that it tanks. It's just we'll talk about it. Yeah.
So yeah, he's pissed and he's sitting there waiting, trying to hear if anybody if he can find the guy again, so he can go attack
and no,
him.
he doesn't hear it.
And so he's laying on the bed, and I don't know. He's like,
like he's fucking masturbating.
And then you see in the back the symbiote, the shadow of it, turn into a hand and go down, and he's like, I'm like, Jesus Christ, what are we doing here,
I also got mad at
guys?
this because why'd they make the shadow seem so big, right? And they made it seem like it was over his chest, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Right?
Over
and then
dick,
no, that's
maybe.
what it was. No, but it was like they made it seem like it was on top of him, right? And then the next scene, it's just barely jumping on the bed and onto his hand. It's just like
it's just
what?
some bad editing, but dude, I don't know. I feel like. I wonder if it was intentional. I feel like there's a lot of like
weird
puberty interlaced like commentary into these movies. I feel like they're trying to, you know what I mean?
But he shouldn't be in puberty.
Like in the second one, he has erectile dysfunction. I don't know. Yeah. So the black suit looks great. Always been great.
I for some reason really like the transition.
Oh, I've always loved that. The way he just wakes up.
And he wakes up, it's
there.
like he's been blacked out the whole time, and boom, he finally just came to. Yeah, and he's like, where am I? Like,
also,
and he's staring at himself in the mirror, and it's...
Let's be honest. Racist.
Racist?
Oh, the black suit is the bad one.
Oh,
come on, guys.
Yeah. Racist.
Really?
Racist.
I mean, in 2007, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
whatever
sure.
This movie, I think it was 2007.
And the cops tend to be against him. I'm just kidding. I can't. I'm sorry.
Anyway.
And he gets called a thief while he's in the black suit?
Unacceptable.
Oh,
You're right.
Yeah.
You Photoshop him? Ridiculous. So... Isn't the whole fucking point, and I guess it's different in this, and they make it different, but the whole point of the black suit is that it's the symbiote, and it stays on him, and he can switch in and out of it at will. Not that it's like a rubber costume that he takes it off.
Yeah, no, not for Spider-Man.
But it is, though. It is normally. It's just in this, they went with, a suit.
I think what they... it
is in every other version, like in all the animated shows in the comics.
No, but as I'm saying, I think in one of the comics, what Venom ends up doing is he ends up... what's it called? What's the word? Merging, I guess. Whatever. What was the word that they actually use? Because he's a parasite.
Symbiosis.
Yeah. So he ends up doing that with the suit in one of the comics, and I believe he does it here, where he
doesn't though, because he has he has his suit, and then he has black suit.
But I'm saying what he ends up doing is he ends up making a copy of the suit. And that's what he ends up just staying as, is that copy of the suit that Peter can take at will off and on.
Yeah, but it
doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Because it makes no sense, because he should want to be on it all the time.
Exactly.
So that's the thing. It's a different take on it, but it makes no sense.
Because he wouldn't be a douche.
It's much fucking cooler when he can just take it on and off at any time, and like just having it be a separate rubber suit is just weird.
Yeah.
Just weird.
I agree.
I don't like it.
I definitely like the idea of him being able to turn it off and on.
He just keeps it in his little fucking... treasure chest.
Yeah,
it's like, okay.
Locked away like it's fucking Harry Potter and some mythical.
Yeah, like, what are you doing?
I was gonna say mythical Pokemon.
It's like a mythical weapon. Yeah, he's like, I've got to unearth my past.
Yeah,
it's like,
whatever.
No, I don't know. What
it would have made more sense if it was just in him and it just oozed out of his. Oh, that would have been so much cooler. Like
what do you mean by that? Anyway, great little vengeance sequence with him and Sandman. This is the best.
Oh,
it's a great fight.
It's a great fight. Really good.
Brutal, as best they can get away with it, since he's made out of sand, fucking his face against the side of the train.
So in my opinion, here is where the movie actually gets really interesting, to a point where it's like, oh shit, because like we get to see what it's like when Peter doesn't hold back.
Yeah.
And it's against an enemy that can actually take the punch, because if it was a human, he would have ripped their face off.
Yeah.
And when he hits Sandman with that hit, Like he literally chips like chunk of his face off. If it was a human, dude, he would have ripped like.
That's what we talked about with
Yeah,
Doc
is
Ock.
he
It makes
holds back.
no sense.
Yeah.
I found out there's a scene that they cut in Spider-Man 2 where they crash into a building and it's just Peter going and just beating the shit out of Doc Ock.
Jesus.
It's literally a deleted scene. You can watch it online. I was like, I can see why they cut that because he would be dead. It would be a
Jesus.
pile of blood on the floor. Like,
God.
and I was thinking like, why don't you just in the second one especially? Why don't you just have him? Like, it would be better if he just never landed a punch on him. Like, have the arms block it every time.
Times, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. And so finally he can actually knock him out with the one punch.
Yeah.
Actually, there's games that handle it that way.
Yeah.
Like you have to get rid of the arms first, and then finally Peter gets that knockout punch.
I don't know
because
why
it's
they
just a
didn't do it
regular
that way
guy.
because it just makes no sense.
Yeah.
But anyway, they don't really care. Like you said, inconsistencies.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't know. It's cool. I don't know how.
That's a good scene.
He fucks him up really badly.
Yeah, he does. He does a really good job beating the shit out of him, and then he fucking runs him down with water, and he thinks he's dead.
Yeah.
He thinks he's dead so much so that he gets to the cocky point of talking to Aunt May. He's like, you know, Uncle Ben's killer?
Yeah.
He's dead. Spider-Man
Yep.
killed him. Like, okay,
Yeah.
relax, fucking Goblin. Like,
Yeah.
chill the fuck out.
It's so but it's so like obvious that he's like I killed him basically.
Yeah,
when he's
like,
talking to her.
and you know Aunt May.
She knows.
She knows 100%. She knows. She's
Yeah.
like, I thought Spider-Man didn't kill people. Like, yeah, you can tell.
Which I don't. Yeah, it's fine.
It makes me
She
so
does
mad for not getting another Spider-Man because they ruined this one.
Yeah. I love super awesome like visual storytelling with Mary Jane. How she goes in, or no, she comes out of the restaurant.
Yes, and then
they take the sign down. You're like,
yeah.
oh, she got the job.
Yeah.
Don't have to talk about it or
Nope.
anything. So fucking nice.
Yeah.
Really well.
It's a good way to
handled.
move the story forward without
Just
doing too
visual,
much.
quick visual, and you learn everything you need to know.
Yeah.
What does she do? Oh, and this is where she goes and calls Harry. And I said, what do I even say about her at this point? Like what do you? This isn't
So-
like you can't excuse this. You can try and say it's about friends, but the
No.
only problem is the earlier scene where she clearly
you're
takes
right.
that as flirting.
You're right, it's
She's
flirting.
going there to do it, and she's the one who initiates the kiss.
Yes.
They don't ever show them drinking either, so it's not like, oh, I was drunk. I wasn't. She's doing it on purpose.
Yes,
100%.
I will agree with you. Yes, you're right. It's not. I still don't think it was a full attention to cheating. I think it was more like feeling out the.
The weirdest thing about this scene, though, is to me, is since Harry has amnesia, he should be like, it's weird that he's that he didn't push her off of him or something, because he's friends with Peter.
No, because he's always loved her too. They both always had a crush.
But I don't know. Like when he goes back to normal here, they're so. Because you don't get a lot of it in number one, but in this one, it shows like how good of friends they are.
Yeah, no, I get that. But
So
at
it
the
just
same
seems
time,
really fucked up for him to do
again,
that.
going back to the power of pussy, bro. That's not how that
Nah,
works.
I mean,
like most people, dude, there's a lot of friends that are real good friends that have lost friendships because of bullshit like
Yeah.
that. Unfortunately, that's just how it works. That's why
He apologizes and everything, but it just, I don't know. I would have preferred
And she left.
I would have preferred it if he had pushed her off and it had just been her.
Yeah, I
You
get
know
it. I
what
get
mean?
what you're saying.
But the other thing I would prefer is that it didn't happen at all, which we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. But so, dude, Ursula, so fucking cute.
Yes,
it's
dude.
so adorable.
Oh my god, she's
so nice.
awkwardly adorable, bro.
She's so nice. I just love like she clearly likes him a lot, but she also is just like rooting for his relationship, and I'm like that's really nice. Yeah, and then so right after Harry snaps and remembers everything, and then he goes straight to her.
Remembers everything wrong.
Yeah. Well, he's insane. So.
Yeah.
And then he goes back to her and kidnaps her or whatever.
Yeah, actually, before this, so one thing that we did gloss over and is semi-important, he did lose his memory, right?
Yeah.
But he didn't lose that drug that he had in him. And there's a few moments where they kind of show that.
Well, he does the reflexes.
He does the
Yeah.
reflexes, and also he doesn't have a scar at all from that
Yeah, it
absolute
heals.
brutal hit. But
That's the other thing is she goes, oh, you don't have a scar.
Yeah, and then she touches his, yeah.
It's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so, yeah, he takes her and then he meets with Peter at the coffee shop. I actually love this scene.
I love this scene a lot. But again, this is where I don't know how you say he can't do it because it's so good.
I do like it.
At
No,
the drop
I'm saying,
of a hat,
no,
you
I'm saying he can do this. He just can't do pure, I hate you rage. You know what I mean?
Okay, fine.
And that's not crazy. Like if you're not, the fucking best actor in the world, it's
Yeah.
hard to portray that shit, especially if you like the person you're up against or whatever. I'm sure,
Yeah.
they don't hate each other. But so he fucking they talk about it.
Yeah.
And I love how he's just like, I'm the other guy.
Yeah, he just
straight up.
He didn't give a fuck.
And I love it.
I'm the other guy.
He's come back out of it and he's like, you know what? Fuck this. You like gaslighted me when I was had amnesia. I'm just gonna come right out and just fuck you up. I'm not gonna kill you. I'm gonna make you suffer.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm the other guy, and all this. And Peter's like, what the fuck? And he just leaves. And then he looks back and he's like, how's the pie? So good. And then you get the nice little wink over the shoulder, and then the thing passes by, and he went under the table.
Yeah, of course. You want to know what makes it more obvious? Is the dude in the background's like,
down. Yeah.
It's so good.
100%. He just like ducked under the table.
He's like, huh?
Everybody's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, and I love. So then it cuts back to Harry at his place. And I just love, I don't know if you noticed this, but the way, Harry pours the glass and it comes back up and Peter's behind him. But Peter's just standing behind him like an angry toddler. Like,
it's true.
He's just
It's true.
in the background,
It's true.
or he's like, they're like, Mom, I peed the bed. Like, he's just like standing in the back. It's so fucking funny the way he's just sitting there.
But I actually like James Franco in this being like badass. Like,
so here's what I want to say is I wish I would have preferred it if we just delete that whole fucking scene of them going and meeting up and just have him make it up to fuck with Peter. Just have him completely fabricate it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just say like, oh yeah, and we kissed and we fucked and I fucked her, we're fucked in her mouth, and and just do that, and then that saves MJ's character a little bit. She's a lot more likable because she didn't go off immediately after one fight and say, I'm gonna go fuck your best friend.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you don't need that, because as far as Peter knows, it's just what Harry says anyway.
Yeah.
So it didn't need to actually happen for him to say that to make him mad.
I mean, it would have been more evil on Harry's part too, honestly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
just to totally fuck with him. I would have much preferred it that way. So then,
especially since, real quick, to go back to the comics, MJ and Peter are supposed to be like unbreakable. Like,
exactly.
Yeah, they're supposed to be like completely
to the point where
to the point where she's the supportive Hawkeye wife. Like,
there's that comic where isn't there that comic where they're like Satan shows up or something and they have to do some fucked up thing or they have to they have to lose all their memories or something.
No, okay. So what's happening is he loses Mary Jane to save Aunt May.
Yeah, that's what it is. But she agrees. She's like, yes, this is the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And like, even though we love each other this much, like they're so.
Yeah. She's supportive of everything he does in the comics. Like they're
both supportive of each other in the comics.
Yeah.
It's like and that's what I'm saying. It's
not that they don't have their own problems. They do.
In this movie, she's not that character.
No.
She's just a character that they called
different
Mary
universe,
Jane.
different Earth.
Yeah. So, they break into the room and like they trigger the glider and it's like boom, 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 like going around and like breaking shit. Super cool.
Yeah. It's a good fight scene, dude.
And the fucking explosion at the end.
It's brutal. But no, I'm saying this whole fight scene is brutal. Like, they're throwing each other like they're trying to kill each other. Yes. There's legit no holding back on either end.
But just specifically the thing at the end, the way he grabs it and throws it, and then you see it go slow-mo, and he's like, and like just hits like that. Fucking brutal. Amazing.
By the way...
This is when he goes out. No, go ahead.
No, I'm saying, good on Sam Raimi, by the way, to direct it for Peter not to hold back, like and not even a thing where it's like, I'm going to be redeemable.
This was the first time where he was not holding back.
And not just that. And I'm saying like there is no way to redeem himself for what he did. Like he put on the black suit, and he was a complete asshole and fucked Harry's life up. Like he scarred the shit out of him. Mm-hmm. There is no redeeming that. Like they still end up being friends.
But Harry deserved it though.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying Harry didn't deserve it. Absolutely, he did. Yeah. But I'm saying at the same time, it's like he went out.
It's basically they're
crossed
even.
The line.
They're kind of even now at that point, honestly.
But he still crossed the line as Spider-Man.
Oh, we forgot to say, we skipped the whole scene on the bridge where he forces her to break up with him, which is a little weird,
Oh, yeah,
because
we did skip past that.
He doesn't have super hearing, and he's like 100 feet away behind a tree. She could just be like, "Hey, he's making me do this. Just act sad." She didn't have to go through it. There was no reason to, but it's for the movie, so fuck it. And this is where he goes on the street, sees the newspaper. I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye.
Oh my god, dude!
I love it.
Shit's funny.
So when he
by
does
the way,
this,
just so you know, it's been so long since I've watched that movie that I honestly didn't remember he said it in that moment.
It is
I
so
always thought in a
weird
fight,
because he's just talking to himself.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, I would have thought he would said it to somebody in a
in
fight.
a fight.
Yeah. And he's just like in the middle of the street, surrounded by normal people, and he's just like, I'm gonna put some dirt.
Can you imagine some person like right next to him being like, "What the fuck did I do to you?"
He's not holding the newspaper or anything. He just stops and he just like stares in the distance, like from anybody else's perspective. He goes, "I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye."
Yeah, like
you would be like, "What the fuck is this guy?"
Ghost, bro?
Yeah,
yeah.
So here's the thing. I actually like, aside from the whole fucking fucking up the hair shit. Yeah. Up until he starts dancing.
Yeah, even the dancing, I'm okay with it. Believe it or not.
No,
I'm okay with it because it's
ridiculous.
It's again going into that he's thinking he's a badass. Okay, so when he first starts to do it, and he's just in that like little niche of like, I'm still a cocky Spider-Man, but I'm starting to become slowly evil. And he like, all the girls are attracted to him in that beginning part. They're like, oh my god, he's so like alluring, right? But then as he starts to become more cocky and more like, oh my god, I'm such a badass, to the point where he's dancing and doing all this geeky shit, like you can start to see where people are like, this guy's a fucking weirdo. Like, somebody get the drugs out of his veins because he's completely like off the fucking rails. Like, and it's supposed to be completely ridiculous.
So but here's the problem, right? So, okay, well let's just talk. So I like him going in and fucking over Eddie with proving the picture is fake. He's like, you want forgiveness? Get religion.
Yeah,
I love that.
You realize that Eddie does that later?
Yeah. Of
yeah,
course.
he goes to fucking church, dude.
It's great.
But then he prays for Peter Parker to die.
Dude,
it's the most selfish thing.
Yeah, I've seen TikToks people being like, Spider-Man is such a fucking beast that he has his enemies praying that he dies to God, like begging God to kill him. But yeah, him and Betty, it was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
That was a little intense there. Yeah. You know?
She was like, ooh, like
she's like, god damn, just take me right here, now on the desk.
But then the best part is J. Jonah Jameson comes in, he's like, hey, that's not the position that I hired you for. Like, oh my god.
Dude, okay, so here's the problem. If you did this in 1 or 2, this whole sequence of him dancing and shit would fit. But this is the one where they finally figured out the proper tone of seriousness.
Oh yeah, and
so that's the thing is, I wrote the other movies are they're great, campy fun, but this is too far for people. Like this is where you draw the line, really. Yeah. Like everything else is so fucking ridiculous, but this is too far.
It's not that bad.
This is too far.
It's not. It's kind of
it's just weird. It's just because the rest of the movie is actually of a consistent and good tone, and then this is the other 2 movies sneaking in here.
Yeah.
So that's why it stands out, and it's like
it does stand out very, very much. So.
But you love 1 and 2, but you hate this. Like
I like it.
I'm talking about other people though. It's like if you love 1 and 2,
I like it on a very
this,
comical.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I like it on a very comical scale, I guess, more than anything else. But as I like, looking at it as a nice, serious
tone, it's definitely not supposed
to
be taken completely seriously.
No, not at all.
Now dig on.
But to him, it is supposed to be serious.
Yeah. But dude, I love. He's walking in with Gwen. He's walking into the bar, and he says something, and she goes, hee hee, and he goes, love that little giggle. Do you not catch that? It's like, as they're walking away, it's like very faint in the background. She laughs, and then it's like about to cut to the screen. He goes, love that little giggle, babe.
No, I definitely guess I missed that.
Dude, I was like, Jesus. And fucking hell can he play the piano? Like, where's this skill coming from?
Yeah. He probably would have gotten mad.
All the abilities of a spider and a master pianist.
Yeah.
Pianist.
That was in the DNA of the spider. That's one of the...
Yeah. Now dig on this.
Like,
dude, oh my god, it's so funny.
But by the way,
as bad as it is, it's a very enjoyable scene to watch.
It is
so enjoyable.
But can we talk about for a moment how MJ thought he was there for her though?
Yeah.
Because you can see clear in her face, she's like, "Oh, Peter," right? And then like when she starts to realize, how much of a dick he's being, she's like, "Oh, Peter." Like, dude, it's
it's really fucking funny though. He's just going all out, and anyway, and then Gwen's like, "Oh, that was all for her."
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
And then she apologizes and leaves, and I don't really think
we
see Gwen anymore.
No, we don't. And Gwen, it's the other thing. It's like these characters are not. It's funny when they choose to be comic accurate and when they don't, because Mary Jane is not Mary Jane and Gwen Stacy is not fucking Gwen Stacy.
No.
You know, it's like, in fact, they're almost the opposites. Like, Gwen is like the confident, like, woman that, like, goes after him. Yeah. And MJ is, like, super, self, like, she's not confident in, like, her acting stuff and, like, she's getting shit on all over the place and, like, all this stuff. It's really weird. The Bell scene is great because, he comes to the realization I fucked up because he hits her.
Yeah.
By accident. And he's like, I got to get this thing off me. Goes to the bell. And so here's the thing.
He thinks he's fighting it off, by the way. He doesn't realize sound is what works.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Topher Grace, if he was not Venom, if it was just Eddie Brock, and it was this version of Eddie Brock, I'd be like, fine. You know, because they're clearly trying to go for anti-Peter Parker.
Yeah.
You know, like shitty Peter Parker, basically.
Yeah.
Douchey Peter Parker. And he plays it very well. You know, he's always got that fucking shit-eating grin on his face. He's sucking up to everyone.
Yeah.
Cool. Have him be like a little foil for Peter in like the Daily Bugle.
Yeah, yeah.
But as soon as he becomes Venom, he's not Venom. He's not meant for that. That is not.
No, he doesn't
He's not
play
that.
well.
He's not. Yeah, it's not that.
I will say he doesn't play well. Also,
So, but other than that, though, if you just kept him separate as just this guy who kind of like fucks with Peter, and you know he's called Eddie Brock, but he's not really that character.
yeah.
Just like MJ. If he's just like, you know, super smarmy asshole, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it. Like, it's kind of funny, you know? Like, the way he fucks around Peter. But then as soon as he becomes Venom, it's just, he is not Venom.
He doesn't have
You
the
know?
attitude for it.
He's not menacing. He's still cracking jokes and
Yeah.
shit. It's just weird. It's so over the top and just bad.
So, just a couple little hot takes real quick.
Okay.
I genuinely like the design of Venom to a point. I don't care for the face, especially there's a couple shots where they do a close-up of Venom's face, and it's like...
You know what's so weird?
It's like you can tell somebody was wearing a mask because there's a black part where the teeth are supposed to be, but then the rest is like CGI, but that part isn't.
It's so weird that like when at points like when he's like on top of Peter, like talking to him on the webs.
Yeah.
Instead of just having his head come out, it like goes down past his shoulders. I'm like,
yeah.
why the fuck are we doing
Yeah, but
this?
then in other shots,
it
when he's
just
like on
seems
the
so
wall,
sexual.
But then in other shots, when he's on the wall, it literally does that. It just comes back.
Yeah, and it's like,
face.
why don't we do that all the time?
And he's like, hey, we should strip.
Yeah, like he's on top of him, like, hey, my spider sense is tingling, and like the shit's coming down. It's like
Jesus.
he's a little bit too exposed. I don't know what's going on. There. But yeah,
But again, I don't dislike the suit. Had it been a little beefier,
Yeah.
and the face had been a little bit more accurate, dude, I think
it
this would have
had to
been
be.
the
That's
best.
the problem. Is he's
too
shorter.
small.
He's like even smaller than Tobey.
Yeah.
It's
And
so
he needs to
weird.
be bigger. And
So,
guess
it-
what? Eddie Brock in Venom movies, not exactly the tallest guy.
No.
The Venom suit makes him
Exactly.
bigger. Why didn't you guys go bigger?
Damn
it.
The take on this seems to be, from what I can tell.
Fuck Venom.
Yeah, the take on this seems to be is that he kind of went for like a classic like alien feel to it, not like he didn't go Venom. He went
Yeah.
like this is a alien from outer space, like the way it screeches.
Yeah.
It sounds like just this alien creature.
Yeah.
Instead of being Venom.
Venom, yeah.
Because he just didn't give a shit about
Even the
character
voice,
Venom.
there was no Venom voice.
No, not at all. He just opens the mask and it's Topher Grace talking about wanting to have sex. You know, that's like okay, yeah. But here's this third act is so fucking rushed. That's the biggest.
It's definitely rushed, but there's some. You cannot deny there's not some.
No,
really
the fight
cool
is fine,
moments.
but like the way they get to it is just
Oh,
bell
you
scene,
mean
bell scene, smash cut. Oh, Venom, Sandman's punching Venom. What
Yeah.
the fuck happened?
Yeah.
What happened? What
There
the
were
fuck?
scenes
Like
in
the
between.
TikTok
There were
sound,
scenes in
like-
between. By the way, if I remember correctly, I don't want to say it if I'm wrong, but I might be. But in the game, they actually they actually fill some of those gaps.
Yeah, probably.
I'm pretty sure they do. They fill some of those gaps of how.
I never played the third one.
Yeah,
'cause
it's okay. It's not that
wasn't-
good. It's really bad. I'm sure you've seen that video of the girl who's like, "Save me!"
Yeah,
And she's
yeah.
like, oh, like
We're all gonna die.
yeah. Oh, it's so good.
Man. But anyway, so it's just a smash fucking cut, and he's like, "Hey, I've been looking for you." What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's so abrupt and random. I'm like,
It is.
this is weird.
Like, there's no so yeah. Here's the problem that I have with it. Right, there's no build up to like
It's
him
the most-
seeing him in the newspaper fighting Spider-Man. There's nothing. He's just like, "Hey, I'm searching for you," and then boom, that's
It's just you cut to Venom in an alley
Thinking
getting
that he's fighting
punched.
Spider-Man for a
He literally
second.
just cuts and he's like, bam.
Yeah.
Oh, caught you. Oh, I'm looking for Spider-Man too. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
How do we
That's
get
very
here?
out of nowhere. Extremely out of nowhere. Okay, so like you said, we go from the bell scene to this scene
Mm-hmm.
to MJ captured.
And a whole fucking hostage situation, giant crane,
Yeah.
giant web setup.
No
it's all
setup.
being televised.
Literally, yeah.
Fucking, there's like a taxi and a fucking dump truck up
Yep.
there. They've got the whole section cordoned off. Like,
Yeah.
what the hell? What
Yeah.
what happened?
All this happened in the span of, I shit you not, 4 minutes maybe
Yeah.
of the movie, but like, Jesus, like that was sped up as fuck. Like, you can tell it was supposed to be a different ending, and Sam Raimi was just like, dude, just fucking do what Sony wants.
Fucking, I don't know, Venom's there.
Just
I
throw
guess,
him in there. I don't care.
He wants to. He's
bad.
got a boner, I guess. I don't know.
It's so bad, dude. The build up to that was terrible. I 100%, and this is where I think it falls short and people hate it, is because of this specific
This is the last act.
Boom,
this
dude.
last
Yeah, because there's some very cool moments, like Spider-Man taking that beating to the point where everybody is. Don't know how. I don't fucking know how. Everybody apparently sees this.
Yeah.
If there was like a helicopter at least with a camera and like a screen on the TV, that'd make more sense, right? But everybody's looking up,
Yeah,
and they're like, "Oh my god!" Yeah, like no, fuck you. You guys don't see that shit.
Yeah.
But like they're all like in this moment of like, "Oh my god, we could actually end up losing Spider-Man here," and then you get the bomb, and then Sandman's like, huh?
Yeah.
like that scene, like
do the Tim Allen,
But you got the explosive, and that's cool. The way Harry comes in and saves him, like it's cool.
Yeah,
the teamwork that they do, by the way, and their little back and forth.
Sandman is great, but it's a little bit too final big. Video game bossy.
Not even just that. I think he got too big in my opinion.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like it's the final video game boss. Now he's the big
dude.
guy. Like he can do that. It just felt weird to me. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. But yeah, Harry and Spidey, like the little combo team up shit that they do, especially when they're saving her from falling and stuff, and they're like boosting each other. It's very nice.
It's very
fucking cool.
Yeah, I like it.
So and then we get this little intercut thing with J. Jonah Jameson at the bottom. And he's like,
God,
"Hey kid, you want a job?
Yeah.
How much for the camera?"
She's like, I'm like, I don't know whatever age.
Yeah.
She's like,
9.
why would I need a job? He's like, you want to give me that camera? And she's like, $100, right? And he fucking opens. She finessed the shit out of it. She's like. Films extra.
Yeah.
And you know what? You know he paid, bro.
Oh, he did.
Oh, no, but before that, I like that.
He's yelling for Peter?
Yeah, he's like, Parker!
Yeah, as
so
if he's
good.
just automatically there.
Yep.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. So then, and then, see, I hate this as well. He saves MJ and, like, swings her over, and you can tell on a dime, she's like, I love you again now. Because you saved me. Like, the way she looks at him is immediately like, oh.
Yeah, I will say
it's like such a dime on a dime turn,
It's an extremely.
She doesn't know. It's from the worst.
Go ahead and say it. No.
It's from the worst scenario in the relationship where he literally hit her to this, and she's immediately loving him.
I agree. It's an extremely abrupt and no way fixed. She didn't know he was on a symbiote.
She has this fucking fetish for being saved by him.
Or something. Yeah. It's not even just that. It's like they didn't even wrap up them fixing the relationship at all.
Yeah, no.
Like they didn't talk about the hit. They didn't talk about, hey, I had a symbiote in me. Nothing.
Yeah,
it's just, I saved you. Hey, she's like, I'm wet. Like, dude, instantly.
I hate it. That's why I hate her character.
I agree.
She's just badly. She's written in a way that makes her shitty.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think it's a cool way that he kills Venom, though. I mean, not the way.
No. Like don't take it back. Don't take it back.
The way he uses the poles. The setup is cool.
No. The setup is fucking amazing, dude. Like, even when Venom goes to think, like, oh my god, I'm stupid. Let me hop up.
Yeah.
It's fucking too late. Peter's already beating him to him, and he knocks him right back down, and then just starts saying, I love that.
Yeah.
Love that. I didn't care for
the bomb.
I think the bomb should have been bigger, or Venom maybe looks smaller. Like, the explosion didn't match Venom's size.
I would have preferred if he just kind of like got it off of Eddie and then captured it somehow.
Oh, somehow, you know maybe.
Because it's just like ending it with an explosion. It's just kind of
a bad explosion that was again smaller than Venom.
Because it's
Venom was literally huge. Like, he was huge, right? And the explosion goes off, right? And then it's like you can still see. You can see how bad the editing is on this because you can see the symbiote parts on the outside of the explosion, and then boom, you can see the moment they cut them out.
Disappear,
and you're just like, oh, okay.
So yeah.
Oh, also Eddie, not blood.
What are you doing?
No.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's a goblin thing. Remember, it turns you into a skeleton and vaporizes
exactly.
you.
No skeleton, no anything, nothing.
Yeah.
You just assume that.
It's Harry's new skeleton free version.
No, I think you're wrong. I think it's an interdimensional bomb. I think they got sent somewhere else.
God. Yeah, they're gonna show up in No Way Home. It's gonna be Topher Grace.
Topher Grace. Not even with the Venom.
We thought it was gonna be this new Venom. It's gonna be Topher Grace. I hope.
He's like, hey, I'm back, fuckers. Like,
that's the one thing I do like that they at least did in like one shot in this one that I really want to see the new Venom do is the fist like swinging from the webs.
Yes.
Why don't they do that? I don't understand.
I love that.
They didn't do it in the second Venom either.
And that's what I was telling Rachel. I was like, she's like, does he have web? And I was like, no, it's more like his symbiote thing. I was like, and if you look, he even does like a whip action. Like,
he doesn't in the new Venom movies. He doesn't swing
at all.
Once.
Not once.
Not ever. It's all jumping.
But he does swing.
I don't know why. I wonder if it's like a thing where they're like trying to keep it separate from Spider-Man since they don't own him right now.
Yeah.
Anyway, Peter forgives Sandman.
Yep.
And we find out, he accidentally killed Uncle Ben.
Yeah, which, believe it or not, I actually kind of like that.
He's cool.
I like it. I wish they wouldn't have give us two different backstories.
It just, if they had done it from the start and just made Flint be the guy from the beginning, and then maybe just have him get away from Spider-Man instead of, him falling out and dying.
Yeah.
Then this would all make sense, and then it would wrap up the trilogy really nicely. But instead, it's a changing retcon everything. Yeah.
These movies aren't all that. But...
Well, just come full circle is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
And then Harry dies. Yeah. We forgot to mention he gets stabbed.
It's actually kind of sad because you start to like his character.
Yeah.
It's like,
I started to feel you started to get a sense for their relationship.
And I was like, fuck. And then he dies, and he's okay with it. He accepts it because he already knows he's done so much bad that he's just like, I'm just gonna
just fucking kill me.
Also, can we talk about the curse of the Goblin Blades, bro?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're out for the Normans, man. I'll tell you that, or for the Osborns. I mean, like,
fucked them. Yeah. Also, there's the scene where the guy's like, "Oh yes." Also, by the way, when Spider-Man came in that one night and dropped the body off right in front of you, and you went straight to it, and he was already dead. By the way, after you left the body, I took it and cleaned his wounds of this dead body.
Good. Yeah. Go ahead.
And I saw that he killed himself.
Why did he say it sooner? Right.
Well, sure, but just like. When did that happen? So Spider-Man drops the body in there. Harry runs over and goes, "Dad!" And then what? He leaves the body. Bernard comes in, takes this corpse, and cleans the wounds of the corpse. What are you cleaning the wounds for?
Like Rachel was saying, why didn't he say something to Harry sooner? Yeah. He saw the downward spiral.
It was all just, again, like another... Yeah. They had to come up with something because they fucked themselves by not having Peter actually tell him.
Yeah.
So, fuck it. And the movie's over.
Yeah.
2 out of 10. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, definitely not a 2 out of 10. I definitely...
Yeah, 6.
I
give it a 6.
I 6.5, I'd say. What did I rate Spider-Man 1?
7.
Yeah, 7. You know what? I will say Spider-Man 1 is still better just because it feels very genuine, like, to the comics.
It just
does
has
feel
a
much
lot
more
of
genuine. It has more genuineness. But, unfortunately, I can't believe I'm saying Spider-Man 2 is worse than Spider-Man 3. That's crazy to me.
That's crazy to me. Of the 3.
That is, and I think I rated Spider-Man...
That is fucked up. You gave it a 6.
Yeah, I did. I said 7 first, and I said 6.
6, yeah.
But yeah, no, this is, to me, it's a nice 6.5. It's good.
It's so wild because I still can vividly recall the feeling, like the like emotion that I felt. It's a specific feeling that I used to have when I watched Spider-Man 2 as a kid.
Yeah.
It's not there anymore.
No, not at all.
It was a feeling, like such a specific. I've never felt it for anything else. It's like a unique Spider-Man 2 thing.
You ready for this?
It's gone.
Watched a TikTok on it. I watched a TikTok on it the other day. The reason that you maybe, I don't know if you were like me, I played Spider-Man 2 the game a lot.
Oh yeah.
So in my eyes, because of the game being so fucking amazing, I kept thinking, oh my god, this movie's just as good as this game. And no, it's in reality.
It might have been. Honestly, the story in the game is better than the story in the movie.
It's so good. It's so good. Like, you can tell, like, the more passion
they still go through the thing of him.
Oh, how stupid are we? The villains that were in Spider-Man 2's games are the villains they originally wanted in Spider-Man 2.
Lizard and fucking...
Vulture.
Vulture, that was the fourth one. That's the one I was going to say, Vulture.
That's the one. They were trying to set up for the Sinister Six. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then Sony wanted to really, really fucking greenlight it by being like, put Venom and all this stuff, and they tried to rush it. So...
so...
I don't know. So overall, is the trilogies...
Say, real quick, I don't know if I didn't notice this, I realized at the end, Danny Elfman didn't do the score for this.
I still kind of like
a guy named Christopher Young, and I was going to say I didn't notice.
No,
until the end. I was like, oh, it wasn't him.
I actually still really like it, especially like when it's the evil like theme. I actually like it. I love that theme. I like it. Yeah,
but apparently,
because it's up to no good.
They had a huge like falling out on Spider-Man 2, and he said, "Fuck you, I'm not doing your shit."
I didn't know that.
So then they got this guy named Christopher Young, and he did a really great job.
Yeah, no, I still like the score. The one thing I will say, all 3 movies have consistently is the score.
Yeah. It really carries through.
Yes.
I'm glad that they managed to pull it off, even though he didn't come back.
So overall, as a trilogy, right now mentally, because I haven't seen Amazing Spider-Man since it's come out. Okay, I want you to remember that right now. It's been a lot.
Jesus. Yeah, you're in for a treat, bro.
So right now,
for both of them,
even
or
not
just
knowing
one?
both of them, even not knowing this, even not watching Amazing Spider-Man, I can tell you right now, out of the 3 Spider-Man that we've had in the last like 20 years, this is the weakest. Tobey's the weakest. Yeah. In my mind right now, Tobey's is the weakest. I don't think his is going to come out strong. And everybody who comes out and they're like, he's so powerful and he's portrayed it. No, he's not. I'm sorry. He's not.
He's like the weakest.
He's definitely the weakest. And it's so funny because people are like, well, he's got organic webbing. Fuck off.
Let me think. Yeah, fuck organic webbing.
Yeah, like, I don't think that's that great.
I'm trying to think. Like, what is... I don't know. I think think Tom is probably the strongest.
I think in terms of, Tom.
I mean, he fails to hold the boat together, but that's still more than the subway train, or than the train. That's still more to hold together than the train. If we're talking about strength purely.
Yeah,
and he also did the rebel scene in Homecoming where he lifted a whole building off of himself.
Yes.
So he is the strongest one.
Yeah, I definitely say that. That we've seen on screen. Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't think people understand how much pressure that is to hold that boat together. By the way,
yeah.
I don't think.
I mean, he might have technically failed because the web snapped, but he was holding it.
He was holding it. Yeah, that scene's actually really good. Yeah. That scene's really good. Don't get me wrong, the subway scene's amazing.
Dude, I saw something. I saw a TikTok recently talking about the rebel scene from Homecoming, and I forgot about it, and I was like, oh my fucking god, I can't wait to rewatch it.
Also,
forgot how amazing.
I can't wait to go to Homecoming because you get to see him grow up.
Yeah,
you get to see him grow up. I love that rebel scene because he's like, help me, and like he's just like he finally realized like, oh, I have to do this myself. Like
I can't believe it. So glad I forgot that we even got like a live action on screen version of that scene.
The rebel scene. Yeah,
I forgot about it somehow.
We also get it in the game too. We also get it like Oh,
it's
God,
so good, dude.
Yeah,
I think it was in Spectacular Spider-Man as well, and it was fucking great.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah.
You guys should still watch this trilogy leading up to No Way Home, honestly. But
I mean, as a trilogy,
just don't expect amazingness. Like, I'm sorry, people overhype it. It's overhyped, 100% overhyped.
Heavily, yeah. It's way, way overrated. It's bad. It's like to the point of like, you're convincing people
were hyping it up
of something
so
that's
good
just not true.
That when I came to rewatch these, I was like, oh, these are actually going to be great.
I came
into it with no nostalgia. Like I wanted to make sure I didn't have no nostalgia glasses on. I wanted to make sure I came into this as a very, very non-nostalgic
unbiased.
And oof. Yeah, I'm sorry.
And the funny thing is, I still was biased. Going into Spider-Man 2, I was like, I can't wait to watch this. This is going to be amazing.
Same.
And I still hated it.
You can even ask Rachel. I told Rachel before I even watched Spider-Man 2, I was like, oh, I can't wait.
I was like,
we're about to reach the gold mine. And even like towards like the middle of the movie, when the like scene started with the train, I was like, this is definitely the best Spider-Man out of every Spider-Man movie. And then like by the end, I was like,
yeah, it's just so.
It's good, but
the Spider-Man stuff is good. Everything else is just. What are we doing? Like, why?
It's definitely poorly written. It's a lot of poorly written, inconsistent characters.
It's all just every single movie. You go, oh, he starts here and he ends here, and then by the start of the next movie, he's back to where he was the last time.
Yeah,
like, nothing ever changes. I don't know. Yep. It's such a incoherent.
You ready for this?
I don't know. Fuck.
Here's where I think they went wrong. Right. So Spider-Man 1 was about him becoming Spider-Man. That's okay. That's fine. Give us the origin story, right?
Spider-Man 2 is about him becoming Spider-Man.
No. Spider-Man 2 is about him accepting being Spider-Man, right? But still learning how to balance Parker, right? And then 3, you think that's where that's going because in the beginning he says, oh, I finally have my life together, blah, blah, blah. But it's still him learning how to be Peter Parker in a relationship. Yeah. And it's just like, bro, just give us like a Spider-Man movie. And that's what I appreciate about Homecoming and
that's the
Far From Home.
That's the best thing about Amazing Spider-Man 2.
I haven't seen it yet.
He's just
like I can't remember is what I'm saying.
When you get to that movie, he is just comfortable.
Yes, exactly.
Spider-Man. But it's like prime Spider-Man.
But Homecoming is the same thing. He's not sitting there thinking I need to be a teenager and only a teenager at this moment. No, he's like,
and then
Spider-Man.
Far From Home he's like I am. Like I'm committing to this. You know.
He doesn't bitch about it. He doesn't complain about it. He doesn't let Spider-Man dip into his personal life. He doesn't let his personal life dip into Spider-Man. Because why? We're over it. We're over it.
Well, no, it does happen. In Homecoming, it happens because he misses a lot of things that he wants to go to.
Yeah, of course. But what I'm saying is it doesn't become the pivotal plot of the fucking movie.
Yeah, it's the same thing in Amazing Spider-Man where he's got to balance it at first.
Yes.
And then by the second one, and by Far From Home,
they don't make it like a plot
confident in their abilities and they're Spider-Man.
My God,
we don't need 3 movies of that.
I can't wait to watch Amazing Spider-Man, dude. I can't wait. It's because I already know.
Not to spoil it, but it's fucking great.
I already know it is because I love the moments where he's Spider-Man. I don't remember the Peter Parker as much, but I know that he's based off the Amazing Spider-Man comics. And I'm sorry,
there's a lot of Ultimate in there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Not Amazing. Sorry, Ultimate Spider-Man. And Ultimate Spider-Man, that kid is a skater.
It's like the best.
He's a skater, natural.
It's like the best version of Spider-Man.
Yes, it's the best version of Peter Parker as well.
I don't know anybody who thinks the Ultimate comics are bad.
No, the Ultimate comics and the Ultimate Spider-Man games. Did you ever play those?
Like what?
Did you ever play the Ultimate Spider-Man games where you could swap his Venom and shit? Those games are phenomenal.
That's like to me, Ultimate Spider-Man is the definitive Spider-Man.
It's one of the best Spider-Mans. Yes.
So, oh my fucking God, I was just sitting there after I finished 3, like, oh, I wish I could watch the first one. I've seen both of them, numerous times, but I'm still ready to go back and rewatch
Oh,
them.
I'm about to rewatch. Oh, I can't wait. And I know Rachel wants to watch it because it's funny, right? She's seen them. She remembered nothing for Spider-Man 3. She remembers nothing, and I guarantee she remembers some of the Amazing Spider-Man, but I guarantee she doesn't remember that much.
Yeah.
Because whenever we talk about Spider-Man, she honestly barely ever talks about Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. So I know for a fact.
I want to say it's the reason that the Amazing Spider-Man movies were so like hated on and didn't stick in people's minds the same way is because what they ended up doing is well, first of all, it hadn't been that long since. Spider-Man 3 was 2007. This was 2012 for Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, okay.
So it hadn't been, usually when you're going to reboot a character, you take some time. You know what I mean? So it's already back, and people are like, well, Spider-Man 3, we hated that, and that's still fresh in our minds. So they're going into it like, fuck this. So they're going to redo it. And then it was also, everybody perceived it as, oh, they're doing a dark, gritty reboot.
Wait, stop. No, stop. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see
No,
you guys next time.
whoa,
We're ending it here. This is only Spider-Man 3 talk. We're getting into Amazing Spider-Man talk. Save this for the Amazing Spider-Man. We're getting into the Amazing Spider-Man talk. I don't want to do that. Save that for the Amazing Spider-Man. You're literally about to talk about something. Start with this.
I mean, I could probably discuss the whole movie.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. No. Thank you for tuning in.
Wait.
Sorry, go ahead. Final words that are not Amazing Spider-Man.
I was going to say, I feel like we haven't, I don't know. What was the ranking for you? It's what? It's Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 3, Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
We agree on that.
Yeah, we agree on that. For sure.
Yeah, Tobey is the weakest, but he's not as bad as I remembered him being.
No, he's definitely not as bad. No, he's not as bad. I will say 2's Peter Parker is a lot better Peter Parker than 1 and 3's, is what I'm saying. Because 1's an overly nerdy fuck. 3 leans on that overly nerdy fuck, but then they also give like douchebag levels where he doesn't have the symbiote, and then super douchebags level with the symbiote.
Yeah.
But 2, he's got a nice balance of, hey, I'm a nerdy nice guy, and even when he loses his powers, he's still like, I'm gonna save somebody.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. That's a good point.
I think
but
2
that's just
is
in terms
a
of
really
character,
good Peter
but in terms
Parker.
of like what they have him do.
No.
I don't give a shit. So. Yeah, and as a trilogy, it's all right.
It's all right. It's a 6.
It's all right.
No, yeah, it's a 6.
I think I want to say, at the time when this is coming out, 2 and 3 are coming out, is when when 3 came out. I think at that point, Batman Begins had already released. So it's
so.
You're not comparing to that.
No.
You're fucked in that sense. If you're gonna, but they did go for a more serious turn, which is why I think this works the best.
Yes,
is because they captured just the right level of seriousness. Still having some jokes in there. It was the right type of Spider-Man because you don't want to just be all fucking goofy bullshit.
Yeah, cheesy and
It's not how it should be.
No.
Anyway.
But yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks for watching and listening, and stay tuned. We're gonna talk about the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 very soon.